Imagine waking up in the past, but it's a past you don't recognize. On top of high school drama, annoying classmates and family issues, you learn that survival here means one thing. You have to become a martial artist. No tutorial, no easy mode, just problems, a weird system, and total confusion.
Which is exactly what we signed up for, right? Our story begins with Fang Ping's sudden bombshell. It's April 5th, 2007. He's in Yang City, Class 4, and he's just had a wild realization.
He's jumped back 10 years into the past, or rather, a parallel world where things are different.
A classmate interrupts, asking if he and Chen Fan are taking the martial arts exam. The deadline is in 2 days.
Another guy scoffs. The 10,000 registration fee is a waste. He knows he'd just fail anyway. But someone else is eager to register. It's the only path for a nobody to become a legend. Then, some hot gossip drops. Great Master Ma hit level 8, and now Taimu has officially challenged him. The boys jump up, buzzing with excitement, asking if the news is real. They recall Master Ma just reached level 7 a few years ago.
Meanwhile, Fang is completely lost, trying to process everything.
The kid confirms it's on CCTV news. Others wonder if the master will break the top 30, or even 20.
Seeing this, our protagonist is sure this is another world. He's seen enough Isekai anime to know.
He awkwardly asks his friend, "Is this Great Master Mahapang?" His friend explodes, saying it's rude to use the master's full name. Fang is stunned to learn he was right.
Feeling nervous, he looks at Chen Fan and agrees it was rude of him, tapping his mouth anxiously.
He thinks asking that was a mistake. His curiosity might look very suspicious.
Still on edge, our hero asks if there's a cyber cafe nearby.
His friend says yes, asking why he's forgotten. Flustered, he says it's been a while, but recalls the cute manager there.
Fang recalls how she starred in all his cringy high school dreams.
Later, as he arrives at the cyber cafe, he's shocked. A goth girl is at the desk. His memory is completely wrong. She sees him and brightens up, offering a deal. For every $50, you get 10 free. He checks his pocket, only $28. He sheepishly asks to recharge just 5. Her smile vanishes. She grumbles and slaps a temporary card on the counter. He wonders if being broke means you're treated like trash. Soon, he's at a computer, and shock washes over him. Still reeling from what he's learned, he makes a decision. He has to take the martial arts exam. He realizes that to do anything important, you must be a martial artist first.
Here, martial artists hold all the power, ranked in society across 9 levels. 1 is the lowest, 9 the highest. Want to run a company? Be a martial artist. Same goes for entertainment.
Every major celebrity is a martial artist. The exam is the only way for most people to climb the ladder.
That's why Yang Jian called it the only shot at becoming powerful.
He rubs his head. Passing won't be easy. And he needs 10,000 for the fee. In just 2 days, he thinks back to all those isekai shows from his past life. Why did the shield hero and that slime get cheat codes, while he got nothing? A sudden hope sparks. Maybe his family is rich in this world. He could be living in a resort. But arriving home crushes that dream. He's in a rundown building. So much for that hope. He thinks anxiously. He steps inside his apartment and looks around. The smell of the living room is oddly familiar. Yep, this is his home. Suddenly, a girl charges at him, screaming, "Thief!" She skids to a halt right in front of him as he's tying his shoes. The fiery girl demands her money back, holding out a tiny, determined fist. Then, he recognizes her round face. Without thinking, he stands up and pinches her cheeks. The girl is completely baffled as he pulls her cheeks, thinking it's a shame Yuen lost this cute face growing up. She smacks his hands away, demanding her money back, completely bewildered. Fang asks what she's talking about. Yuen shouts that mom gave them $50 to share. But when she woke up, only $5 were left on her table. He realizes the $28 were hers. Stunned for a moment, he decides to play dumb, lying through his teeth. He tells Yuen to look again, suggesting she spent it on candy. Unconvinced, his sister dashes to their mom in the kitchen. Yuen begs her mom for help, but their mother just sighs, blaming herself for spoiling them. She thinks it's just for attention. Their mother, Li Yu-yin, tells her to stop fussing. Their father will be home for dinner soon enough. A wave of guilt hits Fang. His mom only earned $800 a month. How could he possibly ask for 10,000 tae? Just then, their father's voice cuts through the tension, asking if dinner is ready. Fang recalls his dad risks his life for 3,000 a month. Annoyed, his father asks why he hasn't changed. Fang awkwardly says he just got back. His sister immediately runs to their dad, Mingrang,
screaming that Fang stole her money again. Their dad's stern voice calls his name, making him freeze. Later, they're all at the dinner table.
As he eats, he knows his truth. Without becoming a martial artist, he can't change anything for his family. Fang closes his eyes, stealing his resolve. He has to tell them his decision. He looks up, telling his father he wants to take the martial arts exam. The entire family stares, stunned into silence. The air grows thick with silence. He thinks to himself, did I ask for too much? He needed them to pay the fee. He anxiously awaits his father's answer, heart pounding. He decides to retreat, forcing a laugh. He claims it was just a joke, telling his dad not to worry. But then, his father silently extends a bank card towards him. Fang stares, absolutely dumbfounded by his father's action. Ming Yurang states he knows the fee is 10,000. He tells him to take the card and get the money. His father says it doesn't matter if he succeeds. As long as this is the path he truly wants, it's worth it.
Fang is speechless, even in poverty. His dad's only concern was his son's happiness.
Clutching the card, he's overwhelmed. If I fail, how can I ever repay this debt? Gripping the card tightly, he vows to himself that he will not fail. The following day, cash in hand, he stands before the bank. Suddenly, his vision begins to glitch. The second he held the cash, a strange notification materialized right before his eyes. It read, "Condition met. Attempting neural connection." Success, Fang realized. He'd read about this in countless novels from his past life. It seems this was his very own cheat system.
The next morning, sunlight streams into his room. The main character lies in bed, staring blankly at the ceiling.
He recalls the system window materializing before him. Fang begins to analyze the situation. Based on the ATM incident, his wealth stat must be tied to the physical cash he possesses. If the money isn't his, it doesn't count. And there must be a minimum amount for it to register. He sees the change in his wealth status, so maybe other stats can be raised, too. He awkwardly shouts at the system to increase his chi and blood, but nothing happens. He glares at the system window, which remains completely indifferent to his pleas.
He tries everything, calling out to the system in different ways.
He praises it like a god, even striking strange poses. Frustrated, he demands why the status window won't change. Furious, he screams at the system to just add a point to his chi and blood, or else.
Just then, the system glows bright red. Fang's jaw drops. His chi and blood stats just increased by 1.
Totally bewildered, he feels a strange sensation coursing through him, unable to pinpoint it. Staring at his own hand, he wonders, is this what a chi and blood boost feels like? He's both pleased and disappointed. 10,000 wealth for just 1 point. He snaps back to reality. Wait, did that actually happen?
Fang's eyes dart to the table where the $10,000 sat. He sighs in relief. It seems the system's wealth doesn't affect his actual cash.
Outside his door, his sister slurps ramen, thinking he's finally gone insane. Later at school, the classroom door slams open. The teacher announced last call for the martial arts exam, directing stragglers to the principal's office. Just then, our protagonist shot up, prompting his friend Chen Fan to ask if it was another bathroom run. Awkwardly, he admitted he was going to register, leaving his friend utterly speechless at his decision. Moments later, he stood inside the principal's office, ready to sign up.
A snobby girl scoffed, asking for Fang's vitality score. He considered saying it was 11, but knew that would sound weak.
Yang Jan chimed in, guessing the main character probably hadn't even tested his stats yet. Otherwise, he'd be bragging. Another guy mentioned his own last score was 108. Fang's mind reeled at the massive power gap between them. The arrogant kid taunted him, asking why he didn't just test at home.
Another boy stood up, asking if Wu Jiao actually bought a vitality meter.
Zhao said his dad bought a small one for frequent checks. Someone else noted that even basic models cost a fortune. Our hero wondered what kind of device could be so expensive. He recalled how in his past life, a blood pressure cuff cost practically nothing. After class, he headed to Zhao's place to see this legendary meter. He sat in the machine as it clamped onto his arms and neck, while his friend fiddled with a tablet. Confused, Fang asked if the results were ready. Jihad just stared at the screen, completely silent. He was stunned. The protagonist's vitality value was an unbelievable 113. Before this shocking reveal, the rich kid had been giving Fang a tour of his ridiculously lavish house. Standing before the meter, he boasted about its functions. Then he sat down, looking a little tense, but gave a thumbs up. Fang nodded back at his friend. Jihao began calibrating the complex machine. Finally, he pulled a blue lever. A red aura zapped Fang, and his friend screamed his name. Staring at the screen in pure horror, he stammered, asking if his vitality was truly 113. A glimmer of hope sparked in Fang. Clearly, the system in reality measured power differently.
Jihao declared his score was the second highest in class, baffled at how calm Fang seemed.
Later that evening, his parents discussed the steep cost of the martial arts exam. But with their son finally showing interest, they couldn't back down. His wife said they had 20,000 ready, and she could get more. Suddenly, they heard Yuan shouting at her brother to quit lying. A score of 113 impossible. In the living room, he was pinching his sister's cheeks until she cried. Annoying Yuan, he apologized, insisting his skills were real and he would ace this year's test. Yu Yin called him over, saying she and their dad had something important to discuss. The little girl whined that her brother hit her again, her cheeks puffed out. Fang said he was coming, curious about the serious meeting. He faced his parents, sensing the heavy atmosphere. His father looked at Fang and gestured for him to come closer. Ming R handed him 20,000, a token of his support, telling him to buy what he needed. If it wasn't enough, just say the word. As he held the cash, the system registered the 20,000 like a new item. His dad smiled gently, admitting they almost ruined his future. But now they were fully behind his martial arts dream. He stared back at his father, a mix of shock and deep respect filling his heart. That night at his desk, he eyed the cash, wondering if he should buy pills, though they might not do much. He imagined holding one. Then he pictured himself eating it. But, ew. He realized it would probably just cause a stomachache. He covered his face, thinking nothing could ever beat his system. With a sigh, Fang opened the status window, ready to level up. The next morning at school, he was trudging up the stairs, lost in thought. He confessed to himself that he'd tried to boost his spirit stat by 1 last night. It cost him a whopping 10,000, but the effect was bizarre, like a small hand was massaging his brain. His thoughts felt clear, racing across a vast field. His focus, comprehension, and memory had all received a massive upgrade. Still feeling a bit hazy, he recalled checking his physique too. Suddenly, someone hurtled down the stairs, jolting Fang from his thoughts. A hand grabbed his neck and slammed him to the ground, forcing him to cough up blood. He cursed Young Jin, who was laughing about Fang hiding his 113-point score. As students swarmed by, Fang knew his secret was out of nowhere. A hand grabbed Young Jian's collar, much to his confusion. An annoyed classmate then tossed the bully into the air model. He just glares silently, prompting Fang to ask what's with the death stare. Sizing them up, the kid whines about his stats versus Fang's. Then, an old man appears, declaring this the perfect opportunity. He marches right up, handing a massive pile of scrolls to Fang. Fang's eyes widen at the contents. These are secret martial arts manuals. The teacher says to master these, since he's finished all the basics. He recalls his dad's words even if he lagged behind. His teachers would support him. Fang grins, thanking him, thinking he's always been a reliable teacher. Heading up the stairs, the teacher announces a special task for a select few. The class is baffled. He explains this is how he met the old director after many tries. Their mission: find Jin Yang, Nanjang Wuda's top-ranked martial artist. Exiting the airport, he sighs. It's been too long since he's seen Yan Chung. He scans the area, dropping his bag with a smirk. Nothing's changed. But across the road, students are cheering for him. He spins around, shocked to hear the crowd chanting his name. He remarks that they've trained hard, while Fang thinks, is this Jin Yang guy for real? Observing Jin Yang, our main character notes he's still just a high schooler, despite his skills. He recalls the airport chaos when they learned he didn't know Jin Yang. Awkwardly, he had to ask, is he famous or something? A spirited girl steps up, deciding it's time to educate the ignorant boy. She reveals her fangirl merch, then points directly at our clueless main character. He sits there bewildered as she recites Wang Jinyang's stats height, age, and his love for training. She adds that despite being poor, his dedication to martial arts is legendary. Last year, he entered Nanjang University as the #1 martial arts prodigy. A commoner who shattered all records, he never stopped training, even in his final year. With total admiration, she exclaims he became a martial artist in his first year. She gushes. A perfect being like Jin Yang exists, while Fang looks completely unimpressed. Snapping back to the present, a shock awaits. The legend himself is right behind them. Mobbed by fans demanding a speech, he deadpans, "You're all so enthusiastic." The students urge him to share his secrets for entering the university. All eyes are on him, awaiting his great wisdom. As Jin Yang panics for an answer, he reminds them of the 5 main tests: physical, cultivation, proficiency, experience, and judgment. The prodigy reveals the hardest 2 are the experience and physical exams. He says the standard 110 for chi and blood is actually a gamble, shocking the crowd. Jin Yang states seriously that harnessing your emotions can change everything. The guys are captivated by his words, but Fang and the girls just stare, still skeptical. He explains how emotions like joy, rage, or sorrow can push your ki and blood to erupt, creating explosive results. Imagine being utterly humiliated, he suggests. Our hero ponders, can someone truly visualize an emotion like that? Jin Yang says with experience, the physical test is easy. It's all just power, stamina, and agility. He asks if they could kill a chicken on command. Then he poses a darker question. What about people? With a dark aura and a chilling smile, he notes that taking a human life is much harder. Our protagonist freezes, completely stunned by that statement. He nervously eyes the senior, wondering how he could speak of it so casually. As if from experience. Watching Jin Yang, Fang wonders if he's truly just a student. Later, his mom asks why he skipped school. He just says he was with a senior. Lying in bed, Jin Young's chilling words echo in his mind. He lies there, silent and deeply unsettled. How could the top student speak of such things with dawning certainty? He realizes Jin Young has killed before a model. Suddenly, a phone buzzes.
The caller has a new lead on the suspect who fled to Kangshan.
2 provinces over. He warns that if the guy slips away, the senior just tells him to watch the target until he gets there. The man apologizes, knowing the higher-ups will be livid if he fails again. As he pulls back his window curtain, Jin Young declares it's not his problem and offers 500,000 for the suspect, dead or alive. Elsewhere, our hero is lost in thought. The boy struggles to clear his mind, trying to focus. Suddenly, a red glow emanates from his fingertips. His chi and blood surge by 1. The system absorbs another 10,000.
All at once, a sharp pain pierces his heart, feeling like it's about to burst.
The agony is so intense, Fang's world starts to fade to gray. His veins bulge as he desperately tries to endure the pain. He clutches his bed, searching for a way to handle this insane sensation. But he just passes out on his bed, veins still popping. Fang feels warm blood coursing through him, almost seeing each cell dance. He snaps his eyes open again. The pain's so sharp it jolts him awake for round 2. Still lying in bed, the boy admits to himself it hurts like crazy as he struggles for air. With a hand on his head, he wonders why this time is so much worse than the last. Then, he glances at his hand and something catches his eye. His veins are bulging from his arms, a clear side effect of the power-up. He squeezes his arm, realizing his body is slowly adapting, even feeling the blood flowing within. Then, a memory hits him and he leaps up.
Fang quickly puts on his uniform, realizing he almost forgot to escort the senior back to school.
He walks by a guy in a mask and cap carrying a box, his face mostly hidden. They accidentally bump into each other, and a dagger clatters to the floor. Our protagonist quickly apologizes and turns. The man, scrambling to grab his dagger, accepts the apology. With a deft move, he conceals the weapon under his clothes. Still watching the man, he wonders if this is his weird upstairs neighbor. To his surprise, the man shoots him a look that could kill. On the bus, Jin Yang boards, apologizing to everyone like a true main character. One of the girls cheerfully waves for him to sit with her. Yang Jan boasts about their school, even asking Jin Young to speak before the exam.
With a serious face, the protagonist asks, "What's so great about an alumnus returning to his old school?"
His friend, annoyed, says any normal grad is no big deal, but this senior is different. As they watch him, the young man reveals he's a martial artist. His friend urges him to really think about it. After all, Jin Young is just a college student who's already a martial artist. Suddenly, the college student places a hand on Fang's shoulder. He tells our hero that while everyone is desperate to be martial artists, they can't forget their body is the true foundation. Leaving the boys stunned, Jin Young adds he has no idea what drugs Fang is taking to get such a rapid boost. He says one simple mistake with those potent drugs could ruin him later on. He warns that taking medicine without proper training could lead to serious consequences.
Fang thanks the senior for the advice, mentally noting that he truly is a martial artist.
After all, he completely understood his chi and blood levels. Later at home, he's in his backyard stretching. The boy is blasting through sit-ups, push-ups, and squats. He thinks to himself that he's not even tired yet. It must be thanks to the boost in his chi and blood. Suddenly, a powerful sense of danger radiates from behind him, startling him. He turns around, a mix of fear and annoyance on his face. Realizing the person in the window is his new neighbor, Fang wonders if it's the same guy from this morning. He stares at the man's back, feeling that intense, dangerous aura again. As he meets the man's gaze, he feels incredibly tense. Closing his door, he tries to shake it off, thinking it might be his imagination. On TV, a report states a second-degree martial artist was killed by his partner after a botched robbery. Yuan watches and says it's better if he avoids school, because if she died, the world would be utterly ruined. He calls her a useless piece of meat that's good for nothing. Annoyed, she hurls her snack bag at Fang. With that, his attention shifts back to the television. A netizen provided a crystal-clear image of the weapon. That's when it hit him. It was his neighbor's dagger. His sister sulked, oblivious, as he re-examined the photo. His eyes locked onto the blade that took his partner. In a dimly lit street, in the dead of night, a dagger gleamed ominously. An assassin lunged towards Fang, who was completely paralyzed by the sudden attack. The blade drew closer to a frozen Fang. Then, a bloom of crimson spread across the scene. With a gasp, he jolted awake. A crucial memory had just surfaced.
He recalled the newspaper photo, realizing it was the same knife his neighbor had dropped.
He pictured his neighbor's sinister grin, dagger in hand. Without a doubt, the killer was next door. Of course, he knew the dream was just a fabrication. But the killing intent he felt was terrifyingly real. A second-degree artist was hiding right above him. The terrifying conclusion sent an icy chill right down his spine.
Was he the next target for his money? His console, no. This was far more sinister.
Clutching his blanket for dear life, Fang told himself it was only a dream, but nightmares can become reality. He glanced at his arm, resolve hardening in his eyes. He had to act first. That man could not become a threat to his family. Dawn broke, and the neighborhood slowly stirred back to life with the morning sun. The news reported on netizens complaining about the city lockdown for a single martial artist in apartment 2011. They argued a second-degree artist could defeat a soldier, urging the police to capture him immediately. Click! The man shut off the radio, tossing it into a box with the dagger and blood-stained clothes. As he hid the evidence, he thought about laying low until the whole affair blew over. Suddenly, a knock echoed from his door, leaving him baffled. He stared as the knocking persisted.
Panic flared. Had he been discovered despite his fear? He unlocked the door.
He forced a friendly smile, ready to greet the newcomer, only to find the hallway completely empty.
Meanwhile, the protagonist was hidden just behind the open door. As the killers searched the stairs, Fang slipped inside.
Once he was back in his apartment, he found Fang casually chilling inside. The baffled man asked how he got in. As Fang set down snacks on the table, clearly on edge, he stuttered that the boy must have the wrong room.
While putting a straw in a drink, Fang insisted he was in the right place to watch the football championship since his TV broke.
He cheerfully explained he came to his new uncle's place to watch, and even brought them snacks to share. The boy offered the criminal a drink, saying they should enjoy the game together. The man sat there, drink in hand, completely speechless. The protagonist, however, was glued to the TV. As the match played on, the killer's grip tightened. This kid could be a secret agent from a detective agency. But then Fang started yelling about the game, making the criminal wonder if he was just an incredibly dense kid. Glaring at the boy, he finally took a sip, trying to figure out how to make him leave quietly. With that, he asked if the boy didn't have school. Fang just grinned and said school was out for the weekend.
Getting desperate, the man asked if the boy's parents were worried about him. But at that question,
the protagonist's head dropped. With a sad face, he asked if his uncle wanted him to leave, making the thug feel awkward. He was just worried about him, he said. The boy replied with a tearful voice,
saying it was fine and he understood. He began to cry, lamenting that he only wanted a new friend but just annoyed people. Fang started apologizing profusely to his uncle.
It was all his fault. He cried while the assassin stood there, utterly confused and trembling. To make it up to him, he'd clean his room. As he reached for the curtains, the man lunged forward and slammed them shut. A bit baffled, he asked what was wrong. The thug sputtered out that he's allergic to UV rays. Preparing his cleaning supplies, Fang declared that was all the more reason to clean his uncle's room. The thief quickly blocked the bedroom door, insisting he would handle the cleaning himself later.
Sighing, the kid confirms they're both men and he understands. Panicked, the thief suggests Fang go home for lunch, mentally begging the kid to just disappear.
Glancing at the TV, he agrees with the man that food sounds good. Fang heads for the door, promising to visit again, while the man sarcastically says he can hardly wait. He thinks, finally, he's gone. But suddenly, our hero trips right over the box. He crashes to the floor, sending the box flying. The thief stares, a mix of shock and pure panic on his face. Fang clutches his head, groaning in pain, his eyes fixed on the box.
Seeing the bloody clothes and a knife, he asks, "Uncle, what is this?" The thief says nothing, slowly stalking closer.
Fang's instincts scream danger. He realizes the man is winding up for a massive kick, with the same force that destroyed the front door. The man then crouches, snatching the dagger and quickly unwrapping the cloth from its blade.
Suddenly, our protagonist erupts into a violent coughing fit, but the man completely ignores him.
He closes in, pressing the blade to Fang's neck. A twisted, maniacal grin spreads across his face.
A powerful killing intent pours from the man as he presses the dagger deeper.
Terrified, the protagonist begs him to stop, promising silence. The thug sneers. "You can't talk if you're dead." He lifts the blade, ready for the final blow. Fang, just annoyed now, thinks, I can't die like this. But unexpectedly, the killer starts shaking. He can't strike. Fang just stares, unimpressed. The man's vision blurs as he wonders. Was I drugged? He remembers the kid handing him that drink, and how he downed it without a second thought. Seizing his chance, Fang smacks his hand hard. The dagger goes flying, embedding itself in the wall. The boy makes a run for it, trying to escape. He snatches a nearby piece of wood for defense. He swings the plank with all his might at the man's head, knocking him flat, catching his breath. Fang figures the drug must be working now. Glancing at the wood, our hero smirks, thinking it was a good call to grab it. But suddenly, the shaky man staggers to his feet, shocking the boy completely.
The thug rises, furious. The protagonist wonders how he's not unconscious. The assassin clenches a fist and throws a heavy hook. The punch lands square in Fang's gut, leaving him stunned. He spits blood from the impact, staring in pure terror. Our hero shoves the man back, desperate to create some distance. He's breathing hard now, a mix of fear and irritation. He thinks, I was reborn with a system. I can't just die here and waste this chance. He grips the wooden plank even tighter. Enraged, he unleashes a flurry of attacks, drugged and battered. The man stumbles back, spitting blood. He slams hard against the door and finally collapses, knocked out cold with bruises already forming on his face. Catching his breath, he admits he underestimated the guy. If not for that drug, he'd be dead right now. Later, as the sun sets, Fang counts the stolen cash.
wondering why his system wealth hasn't increased. The man wakes up tied to a chair, staring at the boy. He says, "The system knows it's not yours." The criminal senses the kid's immense blood and chi. He wonders if the detective agency is backing him. The furious thief screams, "Who are you?" as our hero calmly stands up. The boy smirks. "I'm Detective X. Catching thugs is my thing." The bandit scoffs. "You're no detective." Lifting the backpack, he asks, "Is this all you have, 200,000 and some jars of pills?" The killer groans internally. Those pills were for his breakthrough to become a third-grade artist. And now this brat has them. The killer eyes him from the chair. "Hey, kid, you interested in making a deal?" Fang just stares, waiting for the offer. "Let me go," he says. "And you can keep the pills and the 200,000. The thief adds, "There's also body-strengthening pills and 1 jar of second-grade meds. Their market value is over 5 million. Fang's mind is blown. These little jars are worth a fortune. The nervous bandit asks, "So, is that a good deal or what?" The man adds, "This will help with your exam and leveling up." Our protagonist examines a bright green pill. He explains this pill is way more useful after battle than regular chi and blood medicine. He says martial artists are just normal people who push their bodies to the absolute limit, hardening their bones and protecting their weak points. A smug grin plays on the thief's face. "Have you made your choice?" he sneers.
Straining against his bonds, he bargains. "Let me go, and all this treasure is yours."
He tries a softer tone. "The cops will take everything, you know, and my death won't help you either. Kill me, and my trail stalls them for a month. But eventually they'll find you, Fang. You're young," he coaxes. "A bright future awaits with these pills. It's not worth us both dying," he insists, thinking, "Damn, this drug is potent. I just need more time." Fang's mind races. Kill him. The police find out. Let him go. And he'll surely come for revenge.
Staring at the man, he considers a second-grade martial artist.
This guy's way too dangerous. I should let the cops handle him. But those pills are worth millions.
And one thing was certain, the police would confiscate everything.
To become a true martial artist, my chi and blood must pass 150. Even with the system, I need cash. With 5 million, I could supercharge my stats. Even just using these pills would be a huge boost. He hesitates. Should I call Senior Jin Yang for help? He remembers the senior's cold demeanor. Would he just kill me and take the pills for himself? As he weighs his options, the killer speaks up. "It's a simple choice. I hold all the cards here." The thief crouches, hissing. "A fierce tiger before you. A hungry wolf behind." Fang grabs a wooden plank. "I'll just have to pray I avoid that wolf." He grips it tight. "What are you doing?" the man shouts. Fang extends his arm slowly. "If I take your offer, will you really let me go?" The man nervously introduces himself. "My name's Huang Bin. I'm a man of my word." At the last second, he breaks free. "Your time is up," the killer roars, lunging, but a swift chop to the neck is all it takes. Meanwhile, in the mountains of Kangshan City, a lone flashlight cuts through the darkness. A man searches the forest. It was Jin Yang. He wipes his brow, annoyed. "I've searched everywhere. Where is that rat?" Suddenly, his phone pierces the silence. He answers, "It's Fang." "Senior, is now a good time to talk." Still wandering the woods, he asks, "What's up? Why are you calling so late?" "Are you still in town? Senior, I found that wanted criminal," and accidentally gave him a little tap. Jin Yang is floored. "You're the only martial artist I know," Fang explains. "So I'm calling you for backup. Later, outside apartment 2011. Jin Yang is skeptical. A student catching a second-degree artist. Unlikely.
Still, I'd better be careful facing him."
The door swings open. "Senior, come in." Jin Yang steps inside. "I was nearby, but if this is too big, I might be out of my league." Then, his eyes widen in utter shock. There, tied to a chair, is Huang Bin. Fang approaches the thief. He's completely knocked out. With a sly grin, Fang asks, "Would turning him in even be worth it?" Puzzled, the senior asks, "What are you planning?" Fang opens his backpack. "I'll get straight to it. I found some very valuable things on him." He waves cash and pills with a cheeky grin. "And I'd really like to keep them." Jin Yang smirks. "You really want to keep them? Do you know why he's a wanted man? He's killed several martial artists." Fang just grins wider.
"That's why I called you, Senior, so we can keep this between us." Jin Yang sighs. "This kid is sharp. He'll go far."
Jin Yang explains, "You can't use these second-degree pills, so I'll trade you for first-degree ones, and I'll throw in an extra million. I'm about to break through," he states. "I can absorb these easily, and their value is immense." He pockets a pill. "Once I break through, getting resources will be easy. Call me if you ever need help again." That's all I have to say. "Don't worry about Huang Bin. I'll take care of him."
With a practiced smile, Fang agrees. Of course, senior. I'll just take what's left.
Everything is going just as planned. With these items, my wealth factor will skyrocket in model, making university child's play. He questions if an item worth 3.5 million shows as only 2.4 million. He realizes the system cares about true value, not some market price.
Lost in thought, he recalls something he neglected to tell his brother Jin Yang.
He turns to the martial artist, asking what if the police demanded Hangbin's testimony. Shielding the thief's body, he declares the man won't get a chance to talk. With a chilling look, he notes the man's long criminal record seals his fate. Suddenly, a phone buzzes. The notification reveals a 1 million transfer from Jin Yang. With that deposit, his wealth stat instantly jumps to 3,400. But suddenly, the system glitches violently, shattering in a golden light and reforming.
Staring at the new interface, he sees the values and units are completely different. He concludes that with the old version,
he could only increase by 0.1, or about 10 units of chi, costing 10,000. But now the values seem much more precise. He wonders if 1,000 coins can boost his chi and blood as he commands the system. Just like that, 1,000 coins are deducted, and his chi and blood increase by 1. He realizes that without a mountain of cash, leveling up quickly with this system is impossible. Jin Yang texts Fang, confirming the money and mentioning he sent something extra he'll definitely need. He thanks his senior, who admits he rarely admires anyone, but our hero is an exception. The praise makes him a bit flustered. His thoughts are shattered as his sister leaps onto his back, demanding he get up because she is absolutely starving. Clutching his aching back, Fang tells her to just eat by herself. With a mischievous grin, his sister says since she has his cash, she'll spend her own, adding she can't just leave her big bro at home. He starts pinching her cheeks, saying he heard her little whisper. As Yuen apologizes, the girl suddenly hands him a package. He's completely stunned when his sister reveals it's from Jin Yang.
Rubbing her cheeks, she says that name sounds familiar. Yuen immediately starts sweating, staying silent.
Her eyes widen as she asks if it's the Jin Young from the martial arts university. As her brother grunts, she immediately begs him for an autograph. He eyes her with suspicion, asking if she's joined his fan club. His sister, muttering curses, says he'll never understand Jin Young's greatness. He retorts he doesn't want to hear that from a goofball like her. We learn 3 out of 5 girls are into Jin Young, and the other 2 are utterly obsessed. She says their school has 5,000 students, and the girl-to-guy ratio is 2 to 3. An autograph costs $10. That's 3,000 girls plus 500 fanboys. In her mind, she crunches the numbers to a quick 10 million. Her brother, shocked, asks if that's her real motive. With a smug look, she proposes a 70-30 split, making their savings explode. Suddenly, she notices her brother has vanished and starts desperately looking for him, yelling if a 60-40 split would be better. Meanwhile, Fang wanders the streets, wondering what Jin Young wants, and why he hasn't replied.
Still puzzled, he starts to open the package. He is completely blown away by its contents.
Inside is a collection of books detailing martial arts techniques. He recalls reading online that to advance as a martial artist, 2 things are vital. The first is a high level of chi and blood. The second is strengthening your bones with special medicines and techniques. He was worried about finding techniques and is surprised by Jin Young's gift. Feeling anxious, he admits his tiny yard is completely unsuitable for proper training. Out of nowhere, a man appears, mentioning a subsidized unit is available for immediate purchase. The man praises Guanhu Yuan's great transport links and amazing amenities, adding that the residences are top tier. He offers a 230 square meter duplex for 860 grand. Fang thinks the place is nice, but far too expensive. The agent sizes him up as a student, asking if he wants something cheaper. Full of confidence, our hero says there's no need, stunning the realtor. Pulling out his card, he asks about any available discounts. The agent hands over the key, assuring him he made a great choice, and mentioning free internet and TV. The realtor presents Fang with a contract, explaining that if he signs right now, he'll get a 95% discount, and the company will even cover his residential fees. He gushes that the home is perfect, saying he knew from the start he had a bright future. Fang simply asks when he can move in. The agent replies that the house is officially his, and he can move in at any time. As he walked off, Fang's mind raced. How could he possibly explain the new house or this mountain of cash? For now, silence seemed like the best option. Shoving through the crowd, his ears caught a TV report on the epic battle between Grandmaster Ma and Taimu. He was instantly hooked. The reporter claimed to be over 5 kilometers from the fight, yet he could feel the sheer force of their blows. As flames devoured the landscape, the journalist lamented that a once lush forest was being reduced to ash. Blasts of energy tore through the mountains. Suddenly, the reporter screamed that Taimu's thunderstrike had caused a massive landslide. The Grandmaster fired back with his own technique, the fearsome gallop of 10,000 horses. Giant rocks hurtled directly toward the news crew. In a panic, the journalist yelled for his cameraman to take cover. In a flash, both of them were slammed by the debris, and the broadcast cut to black. Fang just stood there, completely floored by the absolute chaos. The crowd murmured that the masters weren't even fighting seriously yet. Fang simply couldn't comprehend that level of power. The Grandmaster's move looked like a nuke from an RPG. The reporter, somehow still alive, began apologizing profusely. He admitted he never imagined the fallout would reach them, and if he weren't a third-rank journalist, he'd be vaporized. In that moment, Fang's eyes burned with determination. He vowed that one day, he too would reach the rank of Grandmaster. Later, on a bustling street, a woman had fallen madly in love with an incredibly gorgeous sofa. The price was a staggering $79,000. Her boyfriend hesitated, which immediately sparked some serious drama. She collapsed to the floor, wailing about whether his promises of love were a lie. Her poor boyfriend, utterly bewildered, finally caved, but the seller nervously informed him the sofa had just been sold to another young man. And who was at the counter? None other than Fang, flashing his new card with a smug grin. That evening, his little sister declared that her brother needed a serious lesson when he got home. While his mother thought he was studying, Fang was actually in his apartment, grinding out the techniques Jinyoung had taught him. He pushed through the brutal drills, his mind chanting the mantra, chest out, back straight, head forward. He contemplated the human body, a careful construction of flesh, meridians, organs, and bones. For martial artists, unifying these elements is key. To strengthen the very bones themselves, one needs the way of strengthening. The method relies on compressing one's own blood, boosting resistance while the bones absorb qi. He asked if he could push everything at once for a breakthrough. Jinyoung confirmed it. With proper technique, the effects would be magnified tenfold. He then advised our hero that if he intended to use pile work for his training, he had to choose a method that would push him to the next level. Upper body work would grant him unrivaled stability. Lower body work offered speed and perfect balance. Fang didn't hesitate. Asking for the lower body exercise, Jinyoung revealed the technique the horse stance pile. But it came with a terrifying risk. One misstep could permanently cripple him, and Fang might never walk again. But our protagonist just grinned, calling it no biggie. The only thing that mattered was gaining enough speed to dodge a superior foe. Jinyoung's face grew stern, explaining that Fang's current power was already enough to easily pass the exam. But this gamble would skyrocket his maximum potential, at the cost of his current power dropping to near zero. At that very moment, lightning began to crackle around Fang's leg. Jinyoung issued a final, grave warning. If his vital meridians ruptured, he could kiss the exam and his future. Goodbye. But Fang was unshakable. He was on the verge of a breakthrough, with fire in his eyes. He declared, "This is perfect." He then collapsed, gasping for air, but knowing his high-risk training was a success. And just as his senior predicted, his qi and blood levels had completely bottomed out. While panting on the floor, he called upon the system, ordering it to replenish his qi, blood, and psychic energy. Instantly, all of his levels shot up like a rocket. He stood in utter shock. Had he even shattered his previous limits? Fang realized he couldn't wait. Using the system this way, he could finally catch up to his brother, Jinyoung. With that, the hellish training began for everyone, each competitor pushing their bodies to the absolute limit. They were lifting, eating, and fighting for every scrap of progress. The physical exam was now only 3 days away. Someone approaches Liu Ting and Rui Yang, asking if any interesting new martial artists have appeared this time. The man nervously confessed. For 10 years, Rui Yang has produced 0 new martial artists. The vice captain griped. "We've wasted a fortune on martial arts schools for nothing." Without Jinyoung's legendary showing last year, our education ministry would have been utterly humiliated. He stressed, "If we don't get 100 students over 120 qi and blood, or 1 near the peak, Mr. Jin's career is on the line." On exam day, buses unloaded students. Fang and Yang Jian confidently walked toward the exam hall. 2 students sighed. "Last year's cut was 112. We only managed 110. Crowds of students gathered, she advised. "Just use Master Shearer's explosive skill. We'll pass easily." Yang Jian asked Fang his levels. He just shrugged. "Honestly, I have no idea." A voice suddenly called his name, startling our main character. "Are you Fang Ping?" He nodded. "Is something wrong?" But Shi Hao interrupted, completely stunned. "Isn't that Vice Director Tan of the Education Department?" He waved, needing a private word with our hero. "Alone now?" Fang asked. "Was it so important you couldn't just say it there?" Surprised by his bluntness, the man said, "All right, I'll get straight to the point." He explained Rui Yang has 5 counties and 3 districts, including Yancheng County. "We're competing with 2 other counties this time," he said. "Is your qi over 120? Our hero simply replied, "We'll see during the test." He wondered about the man's interest. "Jin Yang recommended you? You can't be ordinary." Fang was blunt. "I don't understand what you want from me. I hope you break through and unleash your full power." Fang felt a sudden pressure. The man continued. "You know emotions can interfere with your qi, and even against weaker opponents. Results can fluctuate." He then asked, "Are the others strong, feeling insecure? Our hero understood. Leaking any power before the exam could ruin his score.
Relax after the exam, the vice director offered. Pills and elixirs worth a fortune await.
Ping added. A martial artist must be bold. Mercy to your rivals is weakness. Fang agreed internally. Fighting is their way. I'm in, he said, shaking the man's hand. Suddenly, the vice director's face filled with shock and a hint of fear. He stared at Fang, sensing power far beyond 130 points. Then rejoined his group.
A boy then slammed into his classmate. As she cried out, he sneered. The weak shouldn't be here.
Juao instantly grabbed the arrogant boy's collar.
A sudden shout echoed. Everyone, get back now.
The arrogant boy smirked, calling them all novices. Fang's friend insisted he did it deliberately. Just then, a figure approached, drawing all eyes. It was Fang, he told his friend. A high schooler with no backing gets nowhere. Red energy flared from his body, crushing nearby students. Let me teach you some manners. The boy gasped for air. The vice principal watched, thinking, how did Jin Young raise this monster? A man approached the vice principal nonchalantly. Is that explosive kid one of yours?
Inside, other students felt the suffocating pressure. Whose aura is this intense, they wondered. Rumors spread quickly. It must be a top-ranked student from Yang City.
As a hand reached for him, Fang thought, they don't even know true fear. The hand grabbed his arm, pulling him, unseen. They vanished through a nearby door. It was the breathless vice principal. What in the world are you doing? He offered a grade 1 pill. This will push you to the limit. Fang just looked confused, pushing it back. Our main character flatly refused. I can't accept this, he explained. The side effects are too dangerous for me before I'm a true martial artist. It could shatter his core or even kill him. But the vice principal insists his foundation is flawless, guaranteeing he'll reach peak power for the exam. Fang refuses. The risk is simply too great. The vice principal then reveals this request is from the education department head. A wave of pressure hits him. He tries to play it cool, remarking how unwise it is to refuse a third-degree martial artist. Annoyed, he mentions his brother just hit third-degree rank too, asking if Ping wants his backup. For a moment, the man looks utterly lost, a flicker of panic in his eyes. He sighs, defeated by the situation. The vice principal apologizes for his aggressive approach, blaming the circumstances. He then asks the student to name his price for a negotiation. And just like that, Fang grins, knowing he's won. Staring him down, he demands 2 chi and blood pills plus 2 million in cash. An audacious gamble. The vice principal figures no matter how absurd the demand, the department head would likely agree. So, he accepts the terms, stating he's acting on behalf of Chief Jin. On his way out, the protagonist suggests asking for 3 chi and blood pills, letting the vice principal keep 1. Ping is stunned by the kid's sheer audacity, questioning if he's just a high schooler. Watching Fang depart, the vice principal admits the boy is far beyond his ability to handle. Inside the exam room, students are being tested, their scores recorded. The chart shows an average of 100 for chi and blood, with the top score being 115. The department head nervously chews his nails, wondering if anyone would break the 120-point barrier. Then, his eyes fall upon the report about our protagonist. The department head barks an order get the CCTV on Fang, now inside a capsule. The protagonist stares right back at the camera. He smirks, never expecting a surveillance camera inside this tiny testing pod. He reaches into his pocket for a pill, deciding it's time to show off a little potential. He thinks, with my system, I don't need these, but takes one to mislead them. He then quickly swallows the red pill. After taking it, he realizes this feels completely different from using the system. The pill felt pre-refined, needing no purification. But then, agony rays of light erupt from his body. His score begins to climb, hitting 103, then it skyrockets, blowing past 119. The secretary chief watches nervously, muttering that if Fang fails to hit the limit, even with his help, there would be hell to pay. His eyes glued to the monitor. Suddenly, the protagonist's score hits 149, and the secretary chief bursts into manic laughter. In the results hall, the examiner proudly informs everyone of the minimum required chi and blood value for this year. With a hint of regret, he announces the new cutoff is 115. The competitors erupt in chaos. This wasn't the standard they'd prepared for based on last year's data. The man tells them to calm down. There are other paths to success, but now it's time to announce those who passed. He starts reading the names. Jihao nudges Fang, asking if he's nervous about the new 115-point requirement. Looking at his friend, he asks if 115 is really a big deal. Annoyed, his buddy asks for his score. He awkwardly admits it's somewhere around 149. His friend just laughs, amused by his jokes even now. The man continues down the list of successful candidates. He calls out Yang Jian, who scored 116. Juho passed with 120 points. Then he calls the protagonist's name, his voice trembling slightly. Still shaking, the man tells everyone to give it up for Fang, with a godlike score of 149. He obliterated the exam. Our hero just stands there, basking in the glory of his achievement. The crowd buzzes, asking who this monster is that scored 149. She, shocked, wonders how he managed it. The man assures the crowd, these are the successful candidates, but tells the others not to lose hope, as many students hang their heads in defeat. He mentions other opportunities. Tears flow as he thanks them all for participating.
Suddenly, our protagonist notices a single tear fall.
It's a classmate, whispering how her parents spent everything for this exam, and now she doesn't know how to face them. A pang of sympathy hits him. He glances at her, thinking how brutal this exam is for ordinary people. He recalls using cash to boost his power. Regular folks lack that luxury, let alone a cheat-like system. He places a hand on her shoulder, getting her attention. He comforts her, saying it must have been a tough day. But not to stress, she'll ace it next year for sure. With a grin, he asks if she wants fries, promising to treat her.
Sniffling, the girl just manages to say his name. His friends jump in, trying to cheer her up, insisting that passing next year will be easy for her. This just makes her cry even harder, touched by their kindness.
Leaping up, she yells that it's time to eat. Our protagonist is thrilled he managed to cheer her up. A bit later, they're walking down the street, enjoying their snacks.
Out of nowhere, some guy approaches them, asking if the martial arts exam isn't rigged.
The man rants that non-passers are doomed to be lower-class citizens, questioning how messed up that is. Everyone, our hero, is
Staring at the strange man, our protagonist wonders who this guy is. The man presses on, urging them to join his cause. He reaches out, saying they can fight injustice together.
Feeling uneasy, Fang just stares blankly at the guy. The protagonist whispers that this dude seems shady and they should bail. Everyone quickly agrees with a nod, so they ignore the man and turn to leave. But suddenly, he grabs one of their arms. It's Jang Nana, who looks terrified as he says not to run, that he'll take them somewhere special. She panics and starts screaming, pleading for him to let her go. The tattooed man claims they shouldn't worry, that a true god rewards the kind. In a flash, our hero unleashes his chi and blood, roaring at the man to unhand her. The guy freezes, struck by the immense pressure from the boy. He confronts the man, his chi and blood flaring. In that instant, the girl wrenches herself free. The man scans the group of students. Fang wonders if this is some cult, shocked by their boldness to recruit in public. Jihao tells the protagonist to just ignore the weirdo and leave. Closing his eyes, he decides there's nothing he can do, having no authority to solve this problem. As they walk off, he admits his biggest worry isn't cultists, but the physical and written exams. But the man with the wild eyes and creepy smile just continues to watch them.
Over at the physical exam site, guards are on high alert beneath a massive welcome banner for the students.
Inside, the exam hall is buzzing with students competing in sprints and shot put, which is just throwing heavy objects. After the physical test, they move to a classroom for the written portion. The atmosphere is tense, with everyone focused, even Fang. When the exam is finally over, the students celebrate by folding paper airplanes and sending them soaring into the sky. At the school gate, families eagerly wait to pick up their children after the long exam day.
Our protagonist weaves through the crowd, trying to get away. Suddenly, someone in a van points him out, saying, "There's the kid."
It's the tattooed guy from before, showing a woman with the same ink that this is the student.
The woman notes that those with high chi and blood are the future of martial arts.
The world's elite force. Another tattooed man adds that these people must be eliminated.
The woman laughs, calling them sinners beyond salvation.
In the back of the van, a group holds clubs, one declaring only they can purify the spirits of these sinners. With a sinister grin, the woman says she'll leave the rest to them, but the boy is all hers. The cultists then pour out of the car, spreading chaos. They attack students with bats, stomping on those already down, and even grabbing the girls by their hair.
Fang notices the chaos and tries to find a path around it, until a woman appears before him.
She declares our hero must sacrifice his soul to the true god. He instantly senses an attack from behind. Luckily, our protagonist reacts just in time to block the blow. He realizes she's a martial artist with a strengthened upper body. Her eyes burned with murderous intent. He saw she had the same tattoo as the man from earlier. During the fight, Fang suspects the cultists are seeking some kind of revenge. He aims a kick, but the woman blocks it with ease. Her power is so immense that Fang's own leg is injured from the impact. She snatches him by the collar and hurls him to the ground, preparing a punch that would surely finish him. Just as she's about to land the final blow, Fang strikes her ankle, throwing her off balance. That hesitation makes her fatal blow go wide. Fang realizes their true target is him. And this opponent is on another level. He's braced for the end, as the leader's fist flies in, promising some divine mercy. Then, from nowhere, a thunderous punch sends her flying. Fang is stunned. Just one punch laid her out flat. The cultist slams into the wall, as her attacker stands tall, radiating an intense aura. The newcomer remarks he didn't expect cultists to be so brazen at a testing center. But Fang isn't listening, just staring at the powerful fighter with a focused gaze. Noticing his look, the man asks if he's okay. The cult leader is out cold, her blood staining the floor. Fang remains on the floor,
awestruck but also a little disgusted by the brutal aftermath.
The man reassures him it's a normal reaction, but Fang cuts in, demanding to know who he is. He reveals he's a detective, but Fang presses on, asking about the attackers. He's furious when they're dismissed as crazies. Fang is enraged by this senseless massacre. These lunatics were trying to slaughter everyone here.
The detective says security is now heightened. Just then, Fang Ping runs over to check on Fang.
He immediately panics, firing off a storm of questions. Hearing the name Fang Ping, Detective Jiang identifies the school's top prodigy, Mr. Tan sees the city is swarming with detectives. Jiang soon confirms their situation is incredibly grim. Fang is shocked this isn't new. Students are targets for these martial artist-hating lunatics. They despise all fighters. The cultists targeted students because they lack true combat experience. But Jiang is baffled they'd attack in daylight with a martial artist present. Mr. Tan is shocked a cult had a martial artist. The detective confirms the woman who attacked Fang was one of them. Mr. Tan immediately thanks the deputy chief detective for saving his prized student. But Fang seems bitter about being the main target. He feels his weakness acutely. His grandmaster dream is at risk.
Another detective reports that the cultists have been handled. Sadly, some students are so injured their martial arts careers are over.
Tan Jinping says Jiang's team can handle the cult, while his department helps the students. He gives Fang a handkerchief, concerned for him. Besides, telling Wang Jinyang about this would be a total nightmare. Meanwhile, Fang Ping decides to ask Uncle Tan for combat training. Tan says techniques aren't that useful now. He'll learn faster as a martial artist. Fang is completely stunned.
After all, his opponents didn't use any special techniques. Tan adds that some martial artists even skip them entirely.
They prefer focusing on bone conditioning and raising their vitality. Plus, the old school battle tactics aren't really in fashion anymore. Vitality-focused types usually take desk jobs, while investigators handle the messy stuff. As they go to change, Fang Ping realizes some martial artists are just talk, no real power. On his way home, he tries calling Old Man Wang, but the line is dead. He wanted to ask about martial arts.
Then, suddenly, our main dude gets a notification. 2 million yuan has hit his account.
Then he recalls Mr. Tan and Chief Jin mentioned this money. The old man said he aced his assessment, earning a bigger reward. He's thrilled with the results and urges him to keep aiming higher. So they decide on a special celebration, and naturally, our hero goes for a high five. And that officially wraps up the cult incident. Our protagonist is now fired up to get stronger. We cut to his family throwing a party for his first place vitality test victory.
They're surprised when a stranger arrives before our protagonist. Then, our hero appears behind him, introducing the guest.
Of course, everyone is thrilled to see him safe. Fang Ping introduces the man as Sun City's deputy education chief. His little sister is totally starstruck, amazed he knows someone so important. The old man quickly apologizes for showing up uninvited.
He knows how much Fang Ping's family sacrificed for him. So, he offers them a security job with great pay.
His dad's jaw hits the floor over the paycheck, while his sister buzzes with excitement. At last, her dad's struggles might end, and our hero urges him to seize this opportunity. The father makes his choice and takes the job. The family invites the elder for dinner, but he politely declines. Our hero sees him out, as his family asks the deputy chief to visit more often. Suddenly, Fang Ping's demeanor changes, asking if his parents are free. They agree, puzzled by his sudden shift in mood. Turns out, he was just teasing them. He invites the family to a new house, a supposed gift from the education department. Naturally, everyone is stunned by the lavish new home. The family stares at the 2-story house in disbelief. They can't fathom the department spending so much on just one person. But our hero's father is skeptical, doubting if the house is truly a gift from the department. He considers telling them the truth, but sees they've already accepted it. He asks them to keep it quiet, and they continue to explore. On the news, a report flashes. A magnitude 8 earthquake has destroyed countless homes. Our main character is shaken by the broadcast, imagining the many victims of this catastrophe. But surprisingly, there were only 73 injuries, and that small number is somehow connected to martial arts. Leading the rescue is the legendary Grandmaster. This proves martial artists aren't useless after all. He's in this world now, so Fang Ping's only choice is to get stronger. Just then, Wang Jinyang finally calls him back. He was on a critical mission. He also gives credit for reaching 149 vitality, thanks to our hero's aid. But Wang tells him to cut the chatter and get to it. So, our hero reveals he's done with basic bone forging. His vitality has passed the 150 mark.
Wang asks if he's ready for the martial arts world, but Fang isn't prepared to live that life just yet.
He then feels awkward, having hinted that his senior should teach him some combat techniques. He's clearly disappointed to learn it's not yet time to master those skills. For now, raising his vitality is key to future growth. Wang says battle techniques would be useless at this stage, so he urges Fang Ping to begin the second bone forging, all for that long-term power-up. Completely taken by surprise, our hero is left speechless. Wang Jinyang asks if his forging speed has decreased, and Fang Ping quickly confirms that it has. Wang then suggests using a strengthening liquid. Soaking in it should drastically boost his bone forging speed. Our hero is stunned. He's never heard of such a thing. Jin Young tells him that's to be expected. Typically, only those with maxed out stats use this item. That's why the potion isn't available in Sun City. But his senior plans to get 3 vials from his university. The catch: they cost a staggering 500,000 yen, and Fang Ping must front the cash because Wong isn't paying for it. Our hero even attempts to bargain, but his senior just ends the call, stone cold. He's shaken by the insane costs of the martial arts world. In the following days, Fang Ping trains relentlessly, pushing his limits. He buries himself in martial arts theory. On top of that, he runs marathons to build his endurance. Even with all that, our hero still finds time to cultivate his unique abilities, nearing the end of his bone forging with a burst of power. A month passes, and we find him soaking in that liquid. His vitality has skyrocketed from 150 to 170 in just 1 month. Plus, the system valued the vials at 600,000. So Fang Ping pocketed the difference. He's getting stronger and richer.
He laughs, thinking that dealing potions could be a great way to make some bank.
Meanwhile, his sister pounds on the door. He's been hogging the bathroom for over an hour. After his bath, the family gathers around, eager to see his exam results, their excitement palpable. His sister grabs the mouse and logs on, ready to reveal the long-awaited results.
Fang Ping's score is astounding 85 in specialized studies and a near-perfect 98 on the practical exam.
He could get into the top universities. His parents are overcome with emotion as his sister gives him a huge hug. Soon after the results went public,
his family is flooded with calls, even autograph requests for the prodigy. Of course, all this attention makes our hero feel super awkward.
Suddenly, a message appears. It's from Wang Jinyang, asking to meet. Later, we find our hero at Sun City Sports Stadium. Wang Jinyang rolls up to say hi, and Fang Ping offers a friendly grin. We notice Jinyang brought a cute little girl with him, who stares at Fang Ping with wide, inquisitive eyes.
Wang reveals the girl is his master's daughter. Our hero finds it a bit odd, and when he says hello, she just hides behind her guardian. Honestly, his own sister is way cuter than this shy girl who won't even say hi.
Jinyang sends the girl off to play so he can speak with our protagonist. Fang Ping immediately teases Wang about being a babysitter. The joke doesn't land well, but he doesn't realize why until a fist invites him to spar. But our protagonist refuses, knowing a rank 3 martial artist would destroy him. His new partner insists, however, throwing more punches. After 1 hit, Fang Ping is sent flying. Jinyang is just testing if he's developed a solid stance after a month of training. Fang Ping even tries to flatter his senior, saying there's no reason to be so rough. But Jinyang ignores him and keeps attacking. Luckily, our hero dodges a very painful-looking kick. While evading, Fang Ping wonders about the true power of a rank 3 martial artist, but has no time to think before dodging again. Soon, Jinyang compliments his quick reflexes. Fang Ping shoots back that his strength is all thanks to his master's guidance. Jinyang argues it was his own hustle that got him this far, telling him not to be so modest. Wang Jinyang had thought this prodigy was just some average guy when he returned to school in April. But after the Huang Bin incident, he saw his serious potential. Still, our hero is too busy dodging to hear any of this. He even quips that at this rate, all the praise is going to inflate his opponent's ego. But pride comes before a fall, and Fang Ping is caught off guard with his arm snagged. That single mistake gets him tossed to the ground. Hearing his opponent wish him luck at Nanjing Martial Arts University,
our protagonist lands flat on the court, stinging from the impact. He asks about Nanjing University. Wang can provide him with unlimited resources until he reaches rank 3. Fang Ping does the math, realizing it would cost tens of millions for vitality pills and bone forging alone.
But his senior drops a bombshell. He's good enough for the top 2 martial arts schools. Our hero pops up, asking if those schools are really that good. Wang calls them legendary, with insane resources. Their graduates donate massive sums to keep training other powerful martial artists.
That's how they can provide pills for students just before they break through rank 1.
For thousands of students, he figures the cost is 800 million. But Wang clarifies the rest must be earned through missions. He mentions the criminal Fang Ping caught, revealing it was a mission from Sun City. He explains that missions are rare at schools like Nanjing, but not at the top-tier ones. One is in the capital, the political center, and the other is in the Magic City, the nation's financial hub. Wang says there's another major draw to these schools, and our protagonist leans in, eager to listen. Wang reveals that regular universities can't compete with their epic instructors. At normal schools, teachers just need a bachelor's. But at the top universities, faculty must be at least rank 4 to enter a classroom. In the Magic City, there are 4 legendary grandmasters at the Martial Arts University. The protagonist is shocked 4 powerhouses on the level of the great Grandmaster Ma.
Still, Wang believes our hero will succeed anywhere and tells him to consider it carefully.
Before leaving, Wang Jinyang says he hopes to see the protagonist's name at Nanjing University. Fang Ping mulls over the offer, weighing the resource costs if he went elsewhere. He exits the stadium at dusk, pondering his future, but then our protagonist makes a call, having made up his mind. A short while later, he slides the university's acceptance notice into his pack.
He and his family are at the station saying their goodbyes. His sisters hug their mom, too choked up to find the words. Fang Ping tells her to be a good kid at home. He warns it's time to board the train and turns to leave.
But suddenly, Fang Yuan dashes toward her brother. With tears streaming, she says he must find a girlfriend to expose his awful habits. And she has one last thing to ask, a promise that he will take care of himself. Our hero, eyes misty, just smiles and nods at his sister's heartfelt plea. Hours later, we land in the magical city, the financial center of the Sino Nation. A bustling metropolis of bridges and highways. Here, even ordinary people without connections can achieve something great. Our main character steps off the train, stunned by the energy radiating from martial artists. A security guard approaches, asking for his ID. Fang Ping takes out the document and hands it to the officer. But the scanner beeps an alert, finding no martial artist record. He's denied free entry into the city.
Fang Ping is confused. Confirming he's not a martial artist, the officer is stunned. The device read 199 vitality, a level only martial artists have. The protagonist explains he's a new student at the city's martial arts university, just arriving early to look around.
The guard understands and offers to help with registration, unable to hide his shock.
He'll even help him get a temporary martial artist pass.
Fang Ping accepts, figuring the rules make sense since martial artists are basically living weapons. A short time later, he receives the temporary pass. He checks the data, and it all seems correct. He notices it resembles a regular ID card, which makes him wonder what life in this city has in store. Fang Ping finally arrives at the martial arts university, completely floored by the immense entrance. Someone notices his amazement and asks if he's a freshman. Fang Ping then asks if they know one another. The stranger grins, introducing himself as Fang Qing, a third year from the School of Weaponry. Fang Ping spots something intriguing about this man. His hand is resting on a weapon, which he realizes is a long blade.
Without warning, the student whips out the knife, slicing the air and leaving Fang Ping speechless.
He spins the weapon expertly before taking a fighting stance. Then he lunges, waving the blade through the air. The student stops the blade just inches from Fang Ping's face, who's frozen solid. He calmly asks him not to wave a knife around in public, since it's just asking for trouble. Fang Qing retracts the blade and smiles warmly, praising Fang Ping's calm and asking for his name. Fang Ping introduces himself to the senior, who remarks, "A freshman who forged his bones twice. No wonder you're at this university." Fang Qing steps back, saying that coming to this university was the right call. Fang Ping nods, acknowledging his new acquaintance's power. The senior strolls away, the blade resting on his shoulder. He scratches his head in thought.
That freshman's accent sounds familiar. He wonders where he's from, but decides it's not important.
He then pulls out some bone-forging pills, enough to finish his torso. After that, he plans to challenge the Nanjing Martial Arts University. Meanwhile, Fang Ping is wandering the campus with his bag. He uses a freshman guide to navigate and finally reaches the place he was looking for. He sees the building is much less grand than the campus gate. Inside he finds a receptionist. She's reading issue number 10 of Story Magazine. When she sees him, she asks if he is a new student. Our protagonist confirms and hands her the acceptance letter as proof.
The receptionist notes that he's a month early, as most students arrive 3 to 5 days before class.
Fang Ping explains he wanted to see the university, and she grumbles that his arrival just made her day busier. While typing, she says the dorms are closed and he'll need to stay elsewhere. Suddenly, her eyes go wide at the screen. The information on this freshman is far from normal. Realizing this, she slams her hands on the table and tells him to wait while she arranges a room at the university hotel. She also promises to connect him with academic advisors to help him become a martial artist. Fang Ping asks if that's possible before classes begin, and she excitedly agrees, saying she's all in for a future martial artist. She explains that here at the university, skill equals privilege, which is why she's helping him so much. Fang Ping thinks to himself that he'd never get this treatment if he hadn't forged his bones twice. At that moment, a man enters. He's Li Cheng, manager of the Magical University Hotel's cleaning department. He claims he rushed over after hearing an esteemed guest had arrived and begins to flatter Fang Ping. The manager offers to help with his luggage. Fang Ping politely declines, but the man insists it's his duty. Outside, a luxury car is waiting just for Fang Ping. He's stunned by this level of treatment. The VIP experience only continues inside the hotel. His suite has a private gym with equipment worth a fortune. The open concept kitchen is fully stocked for any feast. The living room is spacious and relaxing, with plush sofas and a television. In the glowing bedroom stood a massive bed. Fang Ping had to ask, "Is all of this truly free of charge?" Li Cheng confirmed that his entire stay, including all meals, was complimentary. As the main character explored the room, the manager revealed this suite was a special reward for his twice-forged bones. That information hit him hard. Zhang's words about perks for the powerful suddenly echoed in his mind. Li Cheng took his leave, assuring Fang Ping he was available with a single phone call. Alone in his lavish new apartment, Fang Ping felt a surge of excitement. He was finally one of the elite. Days passed. Our hero was now enjoying lunch in the hotel restaurant. He'd already saved tens of thousands on living costs, but the system showed he'd spent a fortune preparing for the third bone forging. With his energy draining so fast, he knew he'd need to earn even more money soon. While eating a meatball, he felt grateful for the help he'd received from Huang Bin and Chef Jin. To keep his progress steady, Fang Ping came to a decision he would start a company. Even in this world, he could see the trends. The internet and online shopping were booming. He'd heard that Maha Tang, Ali Group's co-founder, was a rank 7 warrior. Could he start a similar business with his 16 million odds? But perhaps a delivery service would be a much smarter first step. The idea felt right. It was simpler and required less technology. But he'd need a local manager near the university. As he brainstormed, his attention was caught by a commotion at a nearby table. An argument had broken out between the waitress and a couple over a supposedly dirty dish. The waitress swore the dish was clean, but the man jumped to his feet, getting right in her face. Furious at being called a liar, he demanded to see the manager. Our hero watched, disgusted by the man's attitude. Unable to ignore it, he stood up to intervene. But just then, another figure approached the table. Li Chang arrived to de-escalate the situation, and the waitress looked like she could cry with relief. With a calm smile, the cleaning manager asked about the problem. The man sneered, demanding the general manager. The waitress quickly explained what had happened. Li Chang calmly pointed to a single strand of hair in the dish. He then explained that hotel policy requires all staff to have short hair. So who could have broken that rule, he asked, as the long-haired woman at the table stiffened. The customer blustered that the hotel's hygiene was terrible and threatened to file a formal complaint. The cleaning manager simply bowed, apologizing for the inconvenience to the couple. He vowed to protect customer rights by sending the hair for a DNA test at the university's lab. The long-haired woman suddenly grabbed her partner, pulling him towards the exit. "There's no need for that," she cried. Fang Ping gave the manager a nod of respect as the waitress returned to work. Li Chang bowed and apologized to Fang Ping for having to witness such a scene. Our hero smiled, thinking the manager was clearly a veteran at handling trouble. The manager admitted, somewhat sheepishly, that he'd held the job for 8 years. Fang Ping wondered why he hadn't become a martial artist. Li Chang explained he was saving up for the course, as martial artists earned 3 to 4 times more. Fang Ping calculated grimly. In 4 or 5 years, Li would be over 30, his potential capped at rank 1. The manager simply accepted this harsh reality with a sigh. Fang Ping then made a declaration, 3 years. To the manager's shock, our hero offered to help him become a martial artist for free, and even offered him a part-time job. A smirk plays on Fang Ping's lips, seeing the manager's jaw hit the floor. Moments later, Manager Li sips wine, discussing the delivery startup our boy wants to launch. He pretends to be intrigued, but secretly doubts it'll work. A business could derail his cultivation path once it takes off. The pressure is too much. He fears he can't match our hero's grand expectations. But Fang Ping chimes in, saying it's not just about skills. After 8 years at the magical university, the manager has connections and needs to stop the fake modesty. Besides, our hero is certain he'll be a mid-level artist in 3 years. Then, he'll make Li the hotel's general manager. This grand plan leaves the manager stunned by our protagonist's foresight and maturity. Suddenly, he sees it a golden ticket to a brand new life. Our hero insists he needs him, promising a major favor in return, 1 month later. In his apartment, our protagonist is deep in the brutal art of bone forging. A red energy sphere engulfs him. His face is a mask of pure effort, so close to a breakthrough. His skeleton crackles as raw power surges through his limbs. Blood drips to the floor from the sheer strain. He's sweaty and wounded, but he's finally done it. The third bone forging is complete. He checks his stats. Vitality is up by 6, and mental strength by 10 hertz. He realizes this milestone cost him nearly 2 million in wealth points. Totally worth it, thanks to offloading the business onto Li. He grabs a towel, his bloody hand reaching for the door. Opening the door, Fang Ping figures he can finally relax until classes start tomorrow. The next day, the magical university dorms are already buzzing with new students. Crowds head to 4 dorm districts, sorted by exam scores. And everyone's whispering about our hero, who's heading straight for District 1. That's the exclusive zone for martial artists and the absolute elite. Later, Fang Ping enters room 86. He's shocked by his new home for the next few years. It's basically a luxury suite, with pristine furniture. Even after a month in a nice hotel, this is next level. This place screams, "We have money." Then, 3 sharp knocks break his train of thought. He opens the door, expecting a roommate. Nope, it's his neighbor, Fu Changding. The guy lives across the hall and just wants to introduce himself. As they speak, Fang Ping tries to hide how insecure he feels next to this better-looking, higher-ranked dude. Changding then notices our hero's accent. He asks if he's from Nanjiang, then immediately brings up Wang Jinyang. Fang Ping confirms he knows him, since Wang is a senior here. Fu Changding's eyes light up, gushing about how Wang apparently mopped the floor with all the rank 1 students. This little tidbit completely catches our protagonist by surprise. Changding continues, saying Wang made huge waves in the capital. He challenged 8 martial arts dojos and defeated every single student. Fang Ping is stunned by his senior's power. Then his neighbor adds that those dojos were run by mid-level artists. Fu Changding finally says his goodbyes. He mentions a meeting later, but our hero isn't listening. He's just realized Wang is on a whole other level. Meanwhile, in the hall, Fu Changding glances back at the door, a worried expression on his face.
He suspects Fang Ping might be a twice-forged martial artist, based on the vitality he sensed earlier. Later on, students are gathered in front of the practical training building.
Someone on the mic tries to quiet them down. But nope, the chatter continues, stressing the poor guy out. Then, a much more intimidating figure steps up to the microphone. He roars for everyone to stand straight. His aura is so intense. It feels like gravity itself has increased. Even Fang Ping and his new buddy feel the pressure, though they stand a bit straighter than the others. Our hero realizes this man's power is immense. The man introduces himself as Huang Jing, Dean of the School of Weaponry.
And he's here to begin the freshman allocation assessment.
Our protagonist is completely clueless about this assessment. The dean reveals the test will happen right inside this very building. The first floor focuses on politics and cultural theory. The second floor is for alchemy and martial techniques. The third, military strategy. And the fourth floor is for pure combat training. The dean gives them 5 minutes to choose their path. In 1 hour, the floors will be sealed. Your choice today decides your entire school. The students murmur, questioning the strange system. Why weren't their paths pre-assigned? The dean reveals a harsh rule: each floor has a 400-person limit. Exceeded, and everyone loses 30 academic points. New students start with just 50 points. Even one is precious. 3 buys a vitality pill. Panic erupts. Losing over half their points on day 1, it's a catastrophic start. Huang Jing calms the crowd, promising special missions to recover any lost points.
Our main character sees the truth. This is a brutal test. Just then, Fu Changding calls his name, offering a timely alliance.
As the doors remain sealed, Fu Changding predicts a stampede for the 4th floor. He believes that by cooperating, they can secure a spot in the armament school. Fu Changding notes that mentors choose their own disciples, so they have to make a big impression. Our hero understands the mission. Wang's advice rings true: a powerful mentor is everything.
An idea sparks in Fang Ping's mind. Why catch one mentor's eye? When he can catch them all, he'll choose from the very best.
Suddenly, the dean's voice booms over the speakers. A true martial artist must be willing to risk everything. He commands them to show their true power. A heavy silence falls over the freshmen. Then, the charge begins. The path to the training building becomes a battlefield. Onlookers are impressed by their physical prowess, but the dean scoffs, calling it mere youthful energy. Another observer thinks the dean is too critical. Dean Huang retorts that the catacombs are a war zone, and these kids are completely unprepared. His grim words silence them all. On screen, the brutal fight for the stairs unfolds. It's an all-out war for ascension. One student is sent flying by a vicious kick. Amid the chaos, a warning is shouted. The top-ranked fighters are blocking the path.
With only 400 slots available, the strong are culling the weak. A challenger demands to know why.
The gatekeeper declares that a vitality below 140 makes you unworthy of the 4th floor. The orange jacket student sees the huge power gap. But then, our main character appears, effortlessly weaving through the crowd. His movements are impossibly fluid and fast. He leaps, targeting the gatekeeper. A flawless kick connects squarely with his face. The impact leaves a single footprint on his cheek and a trail of blood from his nose. Fang Ping kneels over his defeated foe. He realizes the single strike was a knockout. The rookies are stunned by his overwhelming power. He defeated a top fighter like it was nothing. Fuang Ding appears, praising his bold strategy. Fang Ping rises, stating he came to this university because of its reputation for producing monsters. He even rejected a $10 million offer from Nanjing University to be here. But now, he's having second thoughts. The students here seem disappointingly weak. With unmatched arrogance, Fang Ping speaks, "This magic university is completely overrated." The dean and advisors hear his every word. They're shocked by this freshman's audacity. How dare he insult their prestigious university? Instantly, Dean Huangjing's voice echoes through the hall. His command is simple: take down the protagonist. The reward, 50 academic points. Fang Ping sees his plan went sideways. A mob of students now approaches with killing intent. Fu Changding nervously admits he overdid it. Unfazed, Fang Ping asks if he'll join the hunt too. Changding hesitates, weighing his options carefully. He realizes hunting with the pack earns him nothing. But siding with Fang Ping? That's a high-risk gamble. Even if they're defeated, Fang Ping can't help but grin at his ally's logic. He then yells to the dean, raising the stakes. What if he defeats every single student? The dean considers this audacious question. He sets the terms 1 point for non-martial artists, and 5 points for every martial artist defeated.
Our hero gears up, calling the dean stingy. His friend, though, is hyped by his incredible audacity. From the crowd, Tang Xiangting calls out, asking if Changding is with the arrogant new guy. Turns out, Changding knows the guy. Shocked someone like him got into a magic university?
The taunt works. Fang Ping and Changding announce they're cleaning house, and Tang Songting is first on their list.
As chaos erupts, the dean is curious, asking about the origins of those two boys. An advisor explains Fu Changding has twice forged bones and is close to mastering his right leg bones. As for Fang Ping, he's a Nanjiang commoner, but has also forged his bones 2 times.
He's also Ru Yang's number 1, but a voice from behind suspects he's forged his bones more than twice.
It's Tang Fun, the rank 6 advisor. He claims the newcomer must be a 3-time bone forger.
Zhou Shaping, a level 6 intermediate, questions this, asking if he isn't from Sun City's top school. The staff confirms he's from a secondary school. The dean finds that school's name oddly familiar.
Rank 5 counselor. Brui recalls a problem student, Wang Jinyang, who shook the university, was from there.
Advisor Xu Jianhao notes the student claimed Nanjiang University wanted him, hinting Wang was involved. Lu Yichuan, another level 6 intermediate, concurs with Jianhao, doubting any link between Fang Ping and Wang Jinyang. Counselor Lu Fango silently observes her colleagues' gossip. Meanwhile, our hero floors anyone who dares challenge him. He's getting bored by how pathetic his opponents are. Suddenly, a fist flies towards his face, but our main character dodges it just in time. He seizes the attacker's arm, his other hand a fist. He lunges, smashing his chin and sending him flying.
Our hero stands triumphant as more students prepare to face him.
But fighting so many is taking its toll. Just then, someone blazes through the crowd, fist aimed right at our protagonist. His name is Jalei. The top freshman, a twice bone forger. Zhao smacks our hero's face, but Fang Ping is thrilled he's still standing. Proof his posture training paid off, then another challenger emerges to face him. With flowing purple hair, she hovers above, her sword poised and ready to strike. Completely hidden from his view, the strange girl glares, declaring those 50 points are hers. Rank 1 Yang Xian readies her attack on our hero, but Fang Ping's stamina bar is flashing red. He orders the system to restore his vitality, burning 100,000 wealth just to evade her attack, a costly dodge for his bank account. Then, unexpectedly, Fang Ping kicks her square in the face. The impact sends her soaring. Enraged, she screams for backup instantly. A blue-haired girl rushes our hero. He sidesteps effortlessly, preparing his response. Bam! A perfect gut punch finds its mark. Her name is Zhao, now airborne from the blow. The crowd is stunned by his speed, but he knows it's all the system. He tells Changing to save his vitality, but his friend yells back he's getting swarmed by 10 people. And just then, a blow lands on his arm. Changding realizes he's outmatched and decides to dip, leaving our hero with the girls. Just then, another martial artist lunges to attack. Fang Ping counters, but in the chaos, his hand lands awkwardly on the girl's chest. Chen Yongxi freezes, unsure how to process this. She's mortified, and our hero can't believe his clumsy mistake.
Snapping out of it, Chen Yanqi lets out a furious curse at our hero.
She grabs the nearest fighter and vents all her fury on him. Fang Ping tries to apologize, blaming his focus. But before he can explain, he senses another attack. He evades it smoothly, readying a counter. The attacker shouts he's teaming up with Yang Xiaoman and Xiaomei to crush Fang Ping. At the same time, Chen Yuni and Tang Songting form a squad to take out Fu Changing. The poor guy protests he's not fully recovered, but they couldn't care less and prepare to finish him off. Trapped in this mess, Changding is annoyed his friend can't help, complaining while getting beaten by the mob. More spectators arrive, calling the battle absolutely legendary. With his foes defeated, our hero grumbles about the cash he just torched. He then approaches the kids who were watching the show. They stammer that they're just students from the social sciences division, but our protagonist doesn't care, arguing the dean never banned fighting other floors. He then prepares to thrash these poor kids for some easy points. After all that chaos, the school's freshman allocation assessment is declared over. It's obvious this brawl left everyone completely wrecked. A student running by mentions everyone got beaten up. He wonders what became of that one guy. He means Chang Ding, demolished by Chen Yuxin's crew. Chang Ding claims that despite the shame, he took on 1,000 men by himself. But our protagonist tells him to quit the bragging. His situation is looking pretty bleak. Chang Ding asks how Fang Ping escaped without a scratch. Fang Ping boasts that it's because he's just that powerful. Suddenly, the dean appears with an immense aura and declares, Fang Ping is merely a weak child. The words instantly put our protagonist on guard. Fang Ping wonders if this is a Grandmaster's true power. But he's not discouraged, vowing to one day surpass the dean himself. An announcement then echoes weaponry freshmen to Field 1 and tactics school freshmen to Field 2. Our main character asks why they're not discussing academic points. Changding chimes in that maybe the dean is too embarrassed. Surprisingly, it's announced points will be given out all at once. The announcer adds that the dean shouldn't sweat the details. Hearing that, Changding makes our protagonist concede his mistake. Naturally, Fang Ping gets annoyed and questions his supposed friend. Changding retorts, this man advises the Wild Lion, a rank 6 master who's second only to the dean. That's why challenging him is a bad idea. Out of the blue, Tang Fang starts praising Changding's test performance. Our protagonist is completely blindsided by this. The advisor adds that Changding never backed down,
even when outnumbered.
Fang Ping feels incredibly awkward, since he's the one who deserves the credit. But then, the advisor suddenly turns his attention to our protagonist, calling him arrogant for refusing to admit defeat when the odds were stacked against him.
Of course, our hero is furious. The advisor tells Chang Ding to visit his office later, then tries to placate the clearly fuming protagonist. Fang Ping swears he will make Advisor Tang regret those words.
And just like that, we're at the exam where students can finally pick their teaching advisors. He tells the students to choose wisely. First up is Lu Yichuan, who focuses on forging upper limb bones for perfect posture. The second is Bruwaki, who only accepts female students skilled with a sword. The third advisor, Xu Jianho, specializes in fundamental knife techniques. Our hero realizes each advisor has a unique style. He must choose the one that aligns with his own path. Fang Ping figures he won't be rejected after forging his bones 3 times. He asks Chang Ding for his choice, but the guy is completely overwhelmed. Amid the commotion, our protagonist steps away for air, only to have his attention caught by some girls. He overhears them talking about a seriously strong advisor named Wu Wudi. And there she is, relaxing in a chair. Her list of accepted students is short, but luckily, our protagonist's name is on it. But Fang Ping decides to weigh his options first, continuing his walk to think things over. However, Wui won't let him go, promising he'll be safe with her. He has no idea what she's talking about. Seeing his doubt, Wui asks if he's heard of Wang Jinyang. He replies that practically everyone knows that name. She explains that guy entered the Magic University a year ago and immediately started preying on all the freshmen. With that threat looming, Wu Wudi renews her offer to protect our protagonist. Just then, the other advisor slams the table for attention, interrupting her. But Wu Wudi doesn't even flinch. Tang insists the Magic University students aren't so petty, but she urges him to guarantee everyone's safety. Unfortunately, the advisor admits he can't make that promise. At that, Wu Wudi rises and continues to demand student protection. She tells our hero to find her if he's ever in danger, casually mentioning she has a grandmaster's backing. Unsurprisingly, our protagonist is stunned that this woman has a grandmaster in her corner. But Counselor Tang is not amused, thinking Wui is gambling with the students' futures. Wui snaps that they all chose martial arts to fight, and she knows our hero is from a normal, non-martial family. She adds that for commoners like him, the path of a martial artist is infinitely harder. Those words hit a nerve, and a flicker of doubt crosses our protagonist's face. Then Wui drops a bombshell she owns shares in a pill company and plans to sponsor Fang Ping. Our main character is thrilled, who doesn't love saving money. She offers 10 vitality pills as proof of her word. Of course, our hero is completely sold on this generous new mentor. He accepts on the spot. And just like that, his net worth skyrockets by over $1 million. With a massive grin, Fang Ping declares he'll learn from her. She hands him an access card for all his questions. The counselor warns Wui to watch her students very carefully. Apparently, over half of them have been badly injured or worse. Naturally, Fang Ping starts sweating bullets. He isn't ready for an early grave, but Wui calmly reassures the counselor that she has it all under control. That doesn't exactly ease our hero's worries. He's already picturing his own funeral. Then, out of nowhere, another student approaches to apply. Shui asks if she can join Wui's tutelage. Wui is all for it. Shui was already on her radar. But a friend warns that the survival rate is a huge risk. Even so, Shui stands firm, sticking with her decision. Our main character is blown away. She heard the death statistics and didn't even flinch. Chang Ding appears, telling our hero that their mentor is incredibly powerful. Fang Ping leans in, eager for details. Chang Ding adds that mentor Wui is on the same level as the counselor. So why didn't he choose her? He explains he's a weapons specialist and chose mentor Lu Yichuan instead. Fang Ping jokes that his friend is just scared of the counselor. But Chang Ding claims he's as brave as a lion. Besides, the top 2 students have already chosen the counselor. Chang Ding tells Fang Ping not to mind a weakling like him. Our hero suggests his friend visit the hospital. I mean, the poor guy's face is comically swollen from the test. But Chang Ding is determined to get his academic points. They head to the logistics department, both pumped for their rewards. As they enter, they spot a group of upperclassmen armed to the teeth. Fang Ping figures they're seniors, who are all laughing at Chang Ding's beaten-up face. After being the butt of the joke, they finally approach the secretary. Chang Ding asks for his score, but he's enraged to see only 45 points, claiming it must be a system error. The secretary just shrugs, saying there's nothing she can do. Now it's our hero's turn. To everyone's astonishment, the secretary reveals he scored 152 points. Chang Ding is fuming with jealousy. The secretary mentions she's worked in this department for 3 years, and she's never seen a freshman score so high. Fang Ping asks what he can do with the points. She explains they work like currency for everything. Plus, the credits can even be exchanged for cash. But Chang Ding immediately starts whining that the exchange rates are a total ripoff. The secretary snaps back that the university discourages trading points for money. But our main character isn't fazed. With those blood pills, his wealth jumped by over 4 million. He's set for a while. Chang Ding breaks his train of thought, calling him to go trade for pills. The vendor shows them a secret menu. He introduces 3 pills that help break the martial barrier. Best of all, they're only 45 credits each. Outside the university, these pills would cost 600,000 apiece.
Seeing this, our hero spots a golden opportunity to make a serious profit.
After a long day, Fang Ping finally crashes. He realizes that without his system, he'd be toast against these fighters.
After all, the bone intensity of these martial artists is on another level. Although our hero has strengthened his own bones, he feels discouraged. It seems like it's still not enough.
But Fang Ping isn't about to throw in the towel. He's ready to shatter that top-tier martial barrier. The next morning, our guy heads to his instructor's dorms, and there's Wu Woody, fresh from a deep slumber. But his focus wavers from their chat, drawn to his mentor's impressive assets. Yep, his boyish instincts were definitely kicking in. She, however, was unimpressed, giving him a serious look. He quickly pieces it together. She doesn't view him as a man. That explains her complete lack of concern. Wu Woody soon ushers him inside, telling him to close the door. She questions his early morning visit.
With resolve, Fang Ping declares his goal to become a martial artist. Wooey is surprised, expecting this decision much later,
but Fang Ping insists he lacks what it takes to be a top fighter. Third bone forging seemed invincible. Until the test, Wooey is impressed, complimenting his keen insight. She explains a fourth bone forging is useless for him. He should break through to the next level for real skills. The hardening techniques he's been relying on are simply inefficient.
A true martial artist strengthens their whole body, not just parts. Wooey then asks if he brought his pills. Fang Ping confirms, revealing his stash from his pocket. His mentor just laughs at the ridiculous amount.
She tells him he's overprepared, but he argues that it's better to be safe than sorry. He knows that to level up, he must take risks. Wooey asks about his lower limbs, and our hero begins meditating to train them. He focuses his energy into his veins as she watches him. He realizes he doesn't even need the vitality pills, but the fear of dying keeps him popping them anyway. She clearly sees Fang Ping's incredible potential. After all, her previous students were all exceptionally gifted, but some were lost, a pain Wooey still carries. She's resolved not to repeat that tragedy. Meanwhile, our hero continues to evolve, pushing his limits. Then, suddenly, a profound change occurs within him. A system alert confirms it he's a rank 1 martial artist. He excitedly tells his mentor he broke the barrier. Wooey calmly says she expected it, given his triple bone forging.
She instructs him to take a pill, replenish his vitality, and test his new power.
After taking the pill, he's floored by the massive jump in his stats. He uses the system to boost his vitality faster, saving pills. His insane regeneration completely stuns his mentor. His absorption rate is simply monstrous, she thinks. Wooey tells him to rest and return only on Saturday. That day, he's due at the academy for technique training. He's thrilled to be learning powerful skills so soon.
Our hero rushes to share the news with Chang Ding, who is absolutely blown away.
His friend accuses him of hacking the system to level up. Fang Ping denies it, saying life's not a game, while using a literal system.
So, Chang Ding declares that Fang Ping is treating them to lunch at the cafeteria. Fang Ping finds the request for cafeteria food odd, but arriving there, his jaw completely drops.
Every single dish costs an absolute fortune.
Chang Ding explains this is martial arts cuisine's second biggest chain, where every meal has strength-boosting pills.
He admits that even his rich family is careful with money, which is exactly why Fang Ping is paying today. As they eat, a group of upperclassmen approach. They ask if he's acquainted with Wang Jinyang. Fang Ping cautiously says yes, but makes it clear he wants no trouble. He warns them his mentor is the invincible Wu, and that school rules ban inter-rank fights. Yeah, fighting in the dorms is forbidden too. The veteran just mocks him, calling our guy the freshman king. Then comes the real threat, he'd better pay off some of Wang Jinyang's massive debt. Fang Ping accuses them of just looking for a fight. They retort that this is simply the university's culture. In reality, they're just mad a freshman like him became famous so quickly. So they throw down the gauntlet a duel in 1 month's time. Our hero asks if it's a deathmatch, but they claim it's a friendly spar. Still, they promise he'll leave injured. He is, after all, facing a martial artist at the very peak of rank 1. The upperclassmen demand his answer, but our hero calmly accepts their challenge without hesitation. Satisfied, they leave. The duel is officially set for next month. Annoyed, Changing questions the duel. But Fang Ping is unfazed, eager to witness the power of a real martial artist. Days later, Fang Ping arrives at the training grounds, but he's not alone. He spots another one of Wui's students.
Seeing this, our hero decides to greet his new training partner.
She introduces herself as Xiao, seeming friendly enough. But their handshake turns into a minute-long power grip. He feels the awkward tension building, unsure how to end it. Suddenly, Zhao tells him to let go.
Apparently, news of his duel is all over campus. She warns Fang Ping about the danger he's walking into.
But our hero just shrugs it off, completely confident. Zhao is stunned by his complete lack of fear. Just then, Mentor Wooey appears, cutting them off. They both immediately greet her with respect. Surprisingly, Mentor Wooey knows about the duel but has no plans to intervene. She's just shocked he'd risk everything so carelessly.
Fang Ping insists he can win with training, but his mentor remains unconvinced.
Wu announces that their real training begins now. She'll teach them brutal offense and defense. Suddenly, Wu unleashes a lightning-fast kick, striking the wooden target perfectly. The force of the blow punches a clean hole right through it. Our hero is stunned by the power in a single kick. The mentor calls it the piercing kick.
She explains the key is focusing all energy on a single point for maximum damage.
A shocked Zhao asks if the move is lethal. Wu confirms it's a combat technique designed to eliminate threats. From this point on, she warns, they will face life or death battles and must be prepared to survive.
After all, in the arena, only strength and skill determine who survives and who falls.
It won't matter if they face a friend or classmate. One day, our hero may even face Wang Jinyang in a duel to the death. That is why they must learn true combat techniques.
If he passes her test, a great reward awaits. Challenge accepted. Fang Ping prepares to attempt the piercing kick.
Wu praises his eagerness, telling him to learn quickly.
Our hero claims gathering and condensing force is simple. This just irritates Zhao, who is completely lost. Fed up with his teasing, she chucks her shoe at him, a classic disrespectful burn.
Wu calmly tells Zhao to settle down.
After all, our main character is a prodigy. That's why he learns so fast. Fired up by this, Zhao trains with renewed intensity. Still annoyed, Wu orders Fang Ping to demonstrate the technique.
He begins gathering energy into his foot, aiming for a perfectly condensed strike. Our hero prepares but his mentor is furious he actually did it. By ignoring his sensei, Fang Ping only ends up injuring himself. Wu could do it easily as a rank 6, but our hero is just a rank 1. He was far too reckless.
With that, she ends training for the day, telling them to return tomorrow. Our hero asks about the promised gift, but she says he'll get it after he wins his duel next month. Before leaving, Wu tells him to visit logistics and pick up pointed leather shoes.
He realizes the shoes will amplify his kicks. After practice, he heads to his dorm to rest. He suddenly recalls he hasn't called home at all, so he decides to ring his family and catch them up. Of course, he gets an earful for going silent. His poor sister thought he'd forgotten them now that he was a big shot. But our hero assures her he would never forget them and asks how their parents are. Tearfully, she replies that everyone is doing just fine. The whole family is excited by his call, asking if he's okay. Our protagonist recognizes his uncle's voice. He tells his sister to pass on his greetings. Then Fang Ping drops the big news. He's an official martial artist.
Hearing this, everyone absolutely loses it. The sudden hype even makes our hero feel awkward.
His uncle is immensely proud, shocked that Fang Ping could level up so quickly. But our hero stays humble, saying it's no big deal since 100 others also broke the martial barrier. His uncle is floored, realizing just how elite this university truly is. He hooks his brother up with a job in human resources. Unsurprisingly, our protagonist's dad is floored by this news. He owes it all to his son, the new martial artist. The next day, our hero heads out to get the shoes his mentor requested. But his request is denied since he's not an official martial artist.
Our protagonist insists he just became one a few days ago.
The clerk tells him to bring his official document to buy the shoes. So our protagonist goes to get that license. Arriving at the exam room, he finds someone already there. He's shocked when a familiar face appears. He recognizes her as Yang Xian, the girl who ambushed him before.
She knows him as the legendary Rookie King and mentions the duel in a month.
Yang teases him, asking if he wants to challenge her too. Our hero says if the chance comes, he's ready. He steps up to Yang, calling her sexist. Of course, she's not happy and tells him not to twist her words. Yang argues that Fang Ping will face stronger foes who will crush him. But our hero stands his ground, unafraid of anyone. He says his enemies are just talentless losers. That's precisely why Fang Ping isn't worried about these weaklings. But Yang calls out his arrogance, warning him not to underestimate anyone. This prompts our protagonist to reply that his confidence is just realism.
All this big talk starts to annoy Yang, who decides to end the chat. Our protagonist just shrugs it all off and walks into the exam room. Inside, he sees the machine for his test.
The bald examiner explains Fang Ping must mark a steel plate to become a rank 1 martial artist. So, our hero only passes if he can actually dent the plate. To do this, he uses his piercing kick technique, making a small hole in the steel. The impact was enough for the old man to recognize him, handing over the brand new license to our protagonist. He'll need to return and renew it every time he levels up. Fang Ping asks if he must come back for intermediate levels, but the man tells him not to get ahead of himself. In any case, our main character is thrilled to hit rank 1, but the old examiner is secretly shocked. He can't believe a freshman could dish out so much power. Then, suddenly, 2 onlookers start mocking our hero's impact. After seeing the steel plate, they think he's unprepared for the duel he's destined to lose. In their view, there's no way he can level up in just 1 month, but the old examiner knows better.
Fang Ping barely used any of his real power for the exam. He's sure those 2 are completely mistaken.
The force from our hero's kick was insane for a rank 1 freshman. And you can bet the old man was excited by that power. With his new license, Fang Ping goes back to the store. The clerk jots down the order, noting the boots weigh 2 kilograms.
The total for the boots comes to 40 academic points. Our main character is stunned.
Those shoes are worth more than his entire house. He starts wondering if this was a good idea. Despite his hesitation, he decides to buy them to get stronger. After the purchase, he also gets a knuckle duster. Even if it cost a fortune, it's still a win. With that splurge, he's used up all 50 of his academic points.
So, he decides to meet with Lee to discuss the company's profits.
He sits at the table and hands over 10 vitality pills. He doesn't need them and wants to sell them. But Lee interrupts, saying he should prioritize martial arts. He can't use his martial arts resources for the company. Fang Ping retorts that he's a level 1 martial artist now and doesn't need basic pills. This completely shocks Lee. That was an incredibly fast level up. Now that he's rank 1, growing the company will be easy. To top it all off, Fang Ping tosses a vitality pill to the manager. He had promised Lee he'd help him level up quickly. This gesture moves the manager deeply, who vows to work even harder for the company. A month has passed, and our hero is wearing his new shoes. They're surprisingly comfortable for alloy boots. These shoes are the real deal. The clerk leads him to a room to test the strength of his new equipment. The old man says the room is for testing gear, but Fang Ping is shocked to see it already destroyed by others. The old man inspects the crater our hero left behind. He's stunned by the raw power. Realizing Fang Ping's kick has truly evolved, a rare smile forms. The freshmen get stronger each year. The scene shifts to the training dojo. Zhao suddenly asks about the duel. He reveals the fight is tomorrow. Zhao is shocked, a little angry he kept it secret. She worries about her classmate. She jokes he'd tell her sooner if she looked like Yoongi. He replies that she's already beautiful. A blush creeps across her face. Was he being serious? With a charming smile, he insists he is. It leaves her flustered yet thrilled. But our hero ruins it, calling her boyish. Her temper flares. He doesn't see her as a woman at all. An interruption calls Zhao away. It's Wu Wuti, needing a private word with our hero. With Zhao gone, the sensei gets serious, warning him to use his kick wisely in the battle.
Once in the arena, it's life or death. If you see no chance of winning, you must surrender.
But Fang Ping fires back, declaring he has no intention of giving up. Wu Wuti then drops a bombshell. The student official is the infamous Liu Yongwen, rank 3. She also reveals he has a younger brother, a former prodigy at Magic University. But last year, Wang Jinyang utterly destroyed him, leaving him comatose in a hospital. The sensei urges him to make every second of training count. But Fang Ping can't believe Wang could be so ruthless. Wu Wuti then tosses him a level 2 vitality pill, a risky but powerful boon. He's grateful for the gift, but shocked by his mentor's unexpected kindness. After that, Fang Ping rests. The day of the duel arrives. We meet Minister Zhou Yan, annoyed to be there. A young man appears, accusing the minister of arrogance. She snaps back, reminding him to respect the rules of the match. He bristles, whining that the Martial Arts Society has grown too proud. But Minister Zhou is not playing games. This isn't a reminder. It is a direct warning. This only enrages him more. As she speaks of rules, he struggles to contain his anger. She tells her aide to call Senior Chen for backup, and to inform the president of the situation. But then, an unexpected presence is felt. She changes her plan to involve the dean. She never expected rank 6 martial artist Lufengro. The sensei looks totally bored. She says there's no need to bother the dean over a simple deathmatch. Lufengro assures them all. If anyone interferes, she will personally stop them. This leaves the young man both infuriated and intimidated. With the situation handled, the minister calmly proceeds with the duel. The sensei asks if her student has arrived. The answer is no. She smirks at their arrogance. Scene change. Our hero has stumbled upon a couple's intimate moment. He's pulling a Zoro, completely lost and with no idea where the arena is. The crowd grows restless. Some think he's a no-show. Suddenly, the doors burst open. Our hero arrives, apologizing for his lateness. As he descends, the minister questions if he's truly ready. Fang Ping asks, "And what if I say no?" A voice from the crowd tells him to watch his tone. But the minister cuts them both off, clearly losing her patience. She silences the heckler. She wants to speak with the protagonist directly. After her sharp rebuke, the entire arena falls silent. She explains that death matches are permitted, but only with the full consent of both parties. If coercion is involved, she warns, the Martial Arts Society will absolutely intervene. She asks our hero again if he accepts. He answers with a firm yes. He confirms no one forced his hand. The minister states that as the challenged, he sets the rules. But our hero seems hesitant, unsure of his demand. He notes seniors can't use blades, so facing 4, he demands a vitality pill from each. Before he finishes, the minister asks the other competitors for their opinion. They're hesitant, until a third year, Liu Yongwen offers 4 rank 1 vitality pills. Fang Ping accepts. Stunned, they agreed. The minister then signals for the match to begin. With a smirk, he asks for his first foe's name. It's Cheng Guang, a third year from the armament school. Fang Ping wonders why a senior would target a freshman who's done nothing to him.
To provoke him, our hero asks if he's another one of Wang Jiang's victims.
"Chenzol, will you truly retreat?" Fang replies. "I may be weaker, but I'll take those pills." Zhou says he could surrender, but his reputation would be ruined. He's unfazed.
He says it's better to surrender than get crippled. He asks if their plan is to eliminate him.
Lu denies it, but admits things could escalate if someone loses control. He says Wong warned him of this, but he just wants to gather resources peacefully. His mentor said not to be a pushover. But this chaos is new. After arguing, he says their issues are not his problem. But he knows they're offended, so he'll fight. Retreat means they'll never stop. The minister yells for the match to begin now.
Fang strikes first. His foe, confident in his reformed bones, believes he can block the attack.
But the tip of his boot catches him off guard. He screams in agony.
He shoves him back, but our hero lunges forward, brass knuckles aimed for the forearm.
The opponent returns a blow, but he dodges and lands a strike below the belt.
Chen is furious, vowing it's over if he's caught. Using his speed, our hero slams a boot into his head.
He collapses, face first into the dirt.
A crimson pool forms under his head. Yang and Shui panic, realizing the worst has occurred.
Inside, Ping feels guilty, thinking of family and his fear of death. Out loud, he claims he lost control. But Liu reminds him that once a match begins, anything can happen.
Shaking it off, he insists they continue, needing to catch the bus. Zhangyi steps up, calling him brave.
He reveals Wong broke his ribs at the start of the year, stopping his training for months. Now he'll graduate stuck at level 1. So he must defeat the one who uses his rival's moves. He must try to defeat him, or risk becoming the next victim.
Our hero says they are similar. Joe cuts in, telling them to begin fighting.
His foe strikes first, forcing Fang to defend a flurry of blows. A blue-haired girl worries another will fall. Go believes a relentless assault will exhaust the low-energy youth. Our hero gasps for air, fueling his foe's endless confidence. The other martial artists hope to see the protagonist finally defeated. Worried, Liu says her mentee will soon lack the energy to even use a pill. Mockingly, his foe says he can't even stand, vowing his revenge will end with his opponent's defeat. Dodging a punch, Fang maxes his vitality. He lifts his leg, landing a clean kick to the face. As he loses consciousness, he wonders how it was possible. How did he recover so quickly? The fight ends as Guo's face meets the floor, leaving Liu utterly stunned. The crowd is shocked. No one saw him use a pill. Determined, he calls for the next challenger. The minister asks if he'll rest. Hearing no, he calls the next martial artist forward.
Trembling, a challenger in a blue shirt forfeits, promising to back off from now on.
He realizes this martial arts life isn't for him. The leader calls for Chang, who simply walks away. Seeing her chance, a girl with pink hair jumps in, declaring she's next. But Yang intervenes, saying they should forfeit. It's clear they cannot win this match. Glaring at Fang, he gripes that his brother was also a genius. But Wang's beatdown left him stuck at rank 1 for good. In the martial world, strength is the only truth. There is no right or wrong. He aches to crush the man who crippled his brother, but the rules chain his hands for now.
When Ping hits rank 3, he'll taste that same despair. But Jin appears, announcing the wait is over. He's here to fight.
The entire crowd is thrown into chaos. They're stunned to see the legendary martial artist. Unfazed, he asks Liu if he's fighting or not. A teacher intervenes, yelling that Wang has no business here. The young man scoffs, saying he's following their rules. Otherwise, this guy would already be unconscious. He then reveals that in 3 days, he'll reach the 4th realm. The teacher is welcome to challenge him then. Anyone with a spine can try their luck. Liu finally understands why he vanished. If he fights everyone, Mo is done for.
Since no one dares to move, Jin taunts them.
He knew they were just trying to bully a newcomer. The leader insists it's a fair duel since Fang accepted, but the martial artist completely dismisses that claim. He calls it a joke for a first-realm rookie to fight top-tier pros. Then he asks again if anyone has the guts to face him. The teacher finally snaps, shouting. Wang demands they settle it on the stage, goading the master. The advisor steps in, cutting him off sharply. He warns that if he provokes the young man further, he alone will bear the consequences. Looking at the main character, Jin says he can leave if he's nervous. He'll deal with all of them eventually. And at the 5th realm, none will survive. Liu declares that's enough, reminding the warrior Ping is his student. This entire mess is fallout from the past, so don't underestimate Mao. Especially, he shouldn't feel untouchable, but consider his student, who will suffer if his master is gone.
Wang agrees, but warns Liu he won't escape his wrath. And if he ever endangers Ping again,
he should prepare to lose his father. The gray-haired man screams, asking if he dares challenge his dad. Jin confirms it, adding that if it weren't for his own master, he'd have been dealt with long ago. The Grand Master's favor makes him far more valuable. The minister rises, demanding to know who brought Jin here. The blue-haired man raises his hand, taking full credit. He didn't expect such a great show, but anyone is free to try their luck. Turning back, Wang announces he'll wait for 3 days. Anyone who seeks revenge should come prepared to die.
Ping stands motionless, thinking Jin stole the show. But maybe now, he can finally get some peace and quiet.
The advisor notes that the boy's strategy and execution were perfect. Yang curiously asks how he recovered so quickly, but the main character just retorts,
He asks if her master never taught her to mind her own affairs. Prying further will only earn her stares from everyone. June murmurs that he seems different after taking a life. Our hero just decides to leave the 3 girls behind. The advisor agrees, suggesting they let the boy have some space. He needs time to process the day's insanity. Outside, Fang calls Wang, learning he's staying at the school's guest house. He warns that it's Mao family territory, but the warrior just shrugs. He's still waiting for a real challenger. Jin explains he held back to teach Ping a lesson. He needed to learn that you can't always run from a fight.
The main character thanks him, but insists he wasn't afraid.
He only accepted because he's sick of being seen as weak. He truly wants to understand the heart of a warrior. When asked what he learned, he says, "A warrior has no fear of death." Jin just laughs. Everyone fears death. The blue-haired man adds that his challengers were just mad. They were slighted by Wang, but that didn't mean they wanted to die. He notices the change in Fang's expression. He then reassures him it was purely self-defense. He reminds him that life and death are 2 sides of a warrior's path. The main character ponders this harsh truth. Is it really a world where only the strongest can survive? Wang snaps him out of it. He's different now. All he needs to do is focus on his training.
Ping thanks him for the guidance and asks about his mission. Fun starts to say it's a huge deal, but is silenced. He's not ready yet.
The blue-haired man cuts in. Keep your head in the game and trust Wang. Our hero agrees. This mission was clearly out of his league. Asking more questions was pointless.
We cut to the Yangcheng Yiguan garden. Fang breathes a sigh of relief. Finally home.
Suddenly, his little sister's voice calls out. She'd been waiting, despite not knowing if he'd return. He rushes forward for a hug, but she just squats down, asking why he's back so late. He explains mornings are a madhouse. Afternoons are way more relaxed, so it's better to visit then. Another girl yells for Yuani. Today, we teach those secondary school boys a lesson. His sister tries to silence them, but it's too late. The protagonist grins. Couldn't wait for me to help reclaim UNPay territory. He pinches her cheek playfully. Let's head home and sort this out. Their mother appears, asking why her son didn't call. He dodges the question, pointing to his sister. Let her spill the beans to you. Mom? She's a big girl now, after all. The woman sighs. Your daughter and her little gang need a talking to. Ewan admits she just sold some of his old things. He asks what she sold. Their mom says everything but 2 outfits was gone. Staring at his empty room, Ping is stunned. How could you do this? She replies like a tiny CEO. Everyone wants a warrior's gear. It was a golden opportunity. Later, everyone gathers for a meal. Ming jokes about the girl's head being full of roosters. Enjoying this peace, he recalls the brutal battles. He feels so grateful to be alive. A few days fly by as Ping enjoys his freedom. Yuan is shocked. You have to leave so soon. She's worried he will get bullied again. He just smirks. Don't worry, I'm the one who intimidates others now. Before he goes, he tells his sister, look after our parents. You're basically an adult now. As the train rolls away, she runs alongside it. She screams for her brother. He watches from the window, thinking how lucky he is. Alone on the platform, she calls her friends. Get over here. My brother left a ton more stuff. At the exchange department, our hero has a plan. Time to trade some pills and make a fortune. The old man approaches. Are those boots I sold you working well? The protagonist nods. I'm here for strawberry juice and IQ pills. Then he drops the bomb. He needs 67 of them. Lee's eyebrow shoots up. He warns that selling pills on such a large scale is forbidden. You could get expelled? Fang grins back. If I sell them slowly, I won't have any problems. The old man points out the pills are useless now, especially since he's still in the first realm. He slaps his card on the table. I know, so hurry up. Back in his room, he calls his manager to ask about selling the pills. The manager says moving a big stash is risky. Things will get ugly if inspectors find out. Hearing the risk, our hero has a change of plans. I'll figure something else out. Ping visits his red-haired friend, who is shocked by the mountain of loot. Did you rob your family's house? Seeing his desperation, his friend gives him a tip. Buying from a private company is much cheaper, but our hero says the profit would be tiny. He also has 2 first-grade pills worth 10,300. He needs to clear over 7 million. Out of ideas, the redhead offers a solution. I'll ask my dad if he wants some pills. After a quick call, he has an answer. My dad offered 9 million pumped. Fang agrees instantly. That's way more than he expected. In a flash, the money is wired to his account. Meanwhile, Yuan's crew is making a killing selling his stuff. In the training hall, Yang and a friend wonder why they were summoned. Our hero teases the pink-haired girl. Taking selfies won't make those dark circles disappear. At that moment, the teachers walk in. The red-haired instructor announces a new program. A special training led by myself, Lu, Chuan, Janzhou, and Shiping. He adds that the school's dean will regulate it. The students erupt with excitement over that last part. A curious student asks why the sudden training. The teacher answers directly. By the end of this year. All major martial arts schools will compete in a national tournament. You will fight for our school's honor and victory. The students freak out. How could they possibly face the country's best?
Furious, the teacher roars at them. Stop cowering. You are the elite, the very future of Muwu.
He then drops a prize 10 credits for joining the training and a reserve team spot.
Our protagonist's mind races, scheming how to profit from this opportunity.
The teacher adds they'll also choose a class president to help tutors with assembly news.
Ping objects, saying 10 credits for being an all-purpose lackey is a total ripoff.
Lu tells him to relax. The president must be strong enough to beat classmates, leaving lame tasks to others. The red-haired guy hates her tone, but she insists it's just tough love to motivate them.
Then she reveals the team leader rotates every 2 weeks, with 10 credits per victory.
Our hero gets his advisor's plan. 6 wins would net him a massive 60 credits.
Other teachers disagree, but she insists on letting the students voice their opinions.
Seeing the students are hyped for it, the red-haired teacher decides to go along. But as he's about to announce it, Lu interrupts, nominating Fang, Zhao, and Yang. The classroom erupts into debate over the trio running for the president spot. Unopposed, the advisor suggests a bet if he loses, the other teacher will work for her free. Though Tang Fang despises him, our hero vows to earn those credits. Lei challenges him first. He accepts the challenge, knowing he can't afford to lose to this kid again. Our boy declares no crying after, and if his opponent loses, he'll be his servant. Grinning, the redhead says the rule applies to them both. Fang charges, throwing the first punch. His opponent boasts about his unbeatable speed, attacking with fiery eyes. But a surprise awaits. Our protagonist dodges easily, showing he isn't even using his fists. Instead, he uses his leg for a solid hit. Zhao laughs, claiming he's no longer weak. Then, bam! A punch lands right on his nose. Leaning close, our hero reminds him of the deal no tears and no holding grudges. But since the guy insisted, he'll beat him unrecognizable. The redhead is stunned, as the advisor calls it. Tang figures his student isn't dead, but he'll be seeing stars for at least a week.
Turning around, our protagonist calls for Xiaoman as her friend begs her not to go.
Seeing Li's bruised face, the girl imagines her own fate. Smiling, she asks if he'll beat her up too. Ping says, yes, he must be fair, even to a pretty girl. The teacher agrees. Martial arts shows no compassion. Shaking uncontrollably, the young girl gives up, crowning our boy the first class president. The red-haired man tells his student on the floor to get the schedule from his office later, dismissing everyone.
Ping tells a crying Zhao to get a grip, wiping his tears.
He promises a win next time. Our hero mocks his tears. Annoyed, the kid blames his injured nose. The protagonist says he only fought to stop all the constant teasing. He thanks Lu for her help, but the woman says he doesn't have to.
He earned it all himself. She insists he grab this chance for credits, because if Mao loses the tournament,
national resources will be slashed. The boys ask if she's already counting them out as losers. Denying it, the advisor says she knows the prestige of both Mo and Jingwu. But for the last 2 years, students from both schools were beaten by one military student, Wang Jin. That's why top schools are mad about resources, since many students are now heading to Wan.
Which now seems unstoppable. This is their moment to show their strength and get resources. Ping remembers his chat with the martial artist, realizing tough times are definitely ahead. At lunch, he plans to speed up his training to beat Wang, but gossip breaks his focus. A girl asks if he has a complex.
Another girl agrees he's strong, but says not helping Chang was just too cruel.
A third girl appears from nowhere, saying she doesn't believe he's really that bad.
Young admits his jealousy of everyone since he was nearly crushed in the special class. That is why no one should date someone so sadistic. And they must warn the younger girls away from his trap. While eating, our hero vows to teach the pink-haired girl a lesson. Recalling the day he abandoned Chang, a sudden tremor rocks the night, sending everyone scrambling. But outside, the chaos mysteriously subsides.
a teacher claims the school's seismic resistance is top tier, telling them not to worry.
While his classmates buy it and head back, Ping senses something isn't right. That wasn't a normal earthquake. And he's right. The tremors were caused by a group radiating some seriously hostile energy. The next day, the special class is buzzing with excitement over a new instructor.
Her name is Bairui, a formidable instructor from the renowned Weapons Academy. Before class starts, she presents a confidentiality agreement. Everything learned here is strictly top secret.
And a final warning if anyone gets seriously hurt. They'll have to face the consequences alone. Fang figures he can't go home empty-handed now. Everyone agrees to stay, so the first lesson begins. Bairui recounts how warriors gained recognition in 1921, claiming martial artists are still valued because society needs them. This applies to all of humanity, period. But a mysterious enemy called a dungeon exists. Its origins are unknown, with entrances hidden underground. And when things move inside, the ground shakes. Apparently, China has discovered 22 such entrances. A student raises his hand, asking what's inside. Without hesitation, the teacher says it's a whole different world. It's like Earth, but without civilization and filled with savage creatures. Ray adds that when one entrance was destroyed, monsters poured out. Our main character wonders why the dungeon dwellers even surface, only to learn there's no clear answer yet. Worse, all energy sources and technology are completely useless inside. He figures as long as he's got money in his wallet, his ammunition is basically infinite. He even wonders if Wong could be a hero in that world. Since he's dedicated and can level up without a system, we see the boy dragging Chin from a ruin, hurling insults at him. While being pulled, the young man babbles about a huge energy stone nearby. The martial artist notes the magical city's dungeon is odd, filled with eerily empty villages. Maybe everyone just fled to the portal. His friend tells him to relax. The magical union is strong. Jin calls him a fool, warning. If this turns into another Tan-non incident,
The Grandmaster will be forced to seal the portal, trapping us in here forever.
as he speaks, he recalls his instructor's grave request to look after Nini if things went sideways. He decides he can't just abandon his post to search for the guy now. Fing suggests bringing Ping next time, given his speed. The martial artist asks if he forgot the kid is rank 1. Entering a dungeon below rank 3 is a suicide mission. The blue-haired boy agrees, changing the subject. He admits that sometimes. The dungeon world feels far more beautiful. Back at school, our protagonist is learning staff basics. Balance is crucial, using strength to strike opponents directly. This forces them on the defensive, opening them up for a sweeping attack.
With the boy on the floor, Chuan declares he's shown them all the basic moves. But the class jokes they couldn't see clearly.
The instructor tells Fang to get back in line, announcing he'll call them up one by one for more demos.
As he returns, his friend remarks that his face looks squished. He's promptly told to shut it.
When he doesn't, our boy vows to take him down if he hears one more crack. As class president, he gets called up for every demo, after taking endless hits and enduring waves of laughter.
He announces it's time for student practice matches. His classmates just call him strict and start a contest to see who can laugh louder.
After training, they receive a list of all the grandmasters in China. The orange-haired boy is stunned, questioning how their director is only in 41st place. Shimimi explains it's normal, as the list includes masters from the army, sex, and even city protectors.
Fang scans for Wong's name and is shocked to find him at 27th place. He dreams of seeing his own name there one day.
Lu announces she just returned from the dungeon, so things should be calm for a little while. When asked if things are truly fine, she confirms, but only for a moment. Resource demand is about to skyrocket. This means the university will have to intensify its training regimen. She tells her students to go home, pack, and return in 2 days for a trip.
Ping immediately asks if their destination is a dungeon.
The instructor denies it, saying their basic kung fu isn't nearly enough. She then asks if the protagonist remembers his reward for winning the tournament.
Outside, his eyes lock onto a sweet ride, wondering if it's his surprise.
But his teacher snaps him out of it, telling him to get in. The scene shifts to a mansion on the city's edge. A guard informs them entry is $10,000 a pop. But a single vitality pill later, the guard waves them all through. He scans the area, curious about his master's gift. The moment they enter, the crew walks straight into a massive brawl.
Suddenly, strawberry juice gets sent flying. The sight makes the blue-haired girl turn green.
Lu tells her to leave if she's weak, but she'd miss all the future streams. The chaos triggers a memory for Ping. He knows this vibe well. A man approaches, asking why the instructor has come.
Getting straight to business, she tells the guy to prep the main character for the morgue.
It dawns on him he's not visiting. He's staying. Our boy asks, "What kind of gift is this?" Elsewhere, 3 guys bet he won't last 30 minutes in there. One wagers he'll tap out in 10, clearly planning something. We find Fang in a dark room, chilling. He notices a TV and wonders about the need for horror flicks. He approaches one of the bodies, gently closing its eyes. He figures the guy reinforced his arms, but a lethal strike to the neck finished him.
But as he moves to the next body, red-eyed creatures suddenly appear right behind him. A swift kick sends them flying. But then he spots a wire, realizing it's a total setup.
Turns out, the creatures were just the corpses. After returning them, he apologizes for the mess. He then helps 2 guys bag a body. Quietly, the man with the mohawk tells Zhao that Fang is fearless. Indeed, the young man explains it's because he's faced true horror. Our hero knows they're renegades, fighting to escape the underworld, which proves that in this world, powerless fighters are just ordinary people. Post-tour, Lu treats the pair to rare steak. She warns them to get used to it, since dungeon food is raw or dried. Ignoring her queasy stomach, the woman asks how he feels after a day with corpses. He admits being a martial artist isn't so glamorous. But talk of a death tournament makes him completely lose it.
Composing herself, the blue-haired girl asks if she can enter as well.
But the instructor shuts her down for being too weak. Annoyed, she argues she's not weak and fears no one, not even in a death match.
Funro retorts it's pointless since she can't even stand the sight of red.
To prove her wrong, she wolfs down the steak. Moments later, she makes a mad dash for the restroom. Curious, Ping asks his master why she's pushing herself so hard.
She explains Sue's father, a level 4 martial artist, fell in the Tiannan dungeon. Now she must get strong to save her family's business.
Inspired by his classmates' drive, the main character wants to be rich and powerful for his family. His advisor suggests a normal match, since he lacks the nerve for a death match. With nothing better to do, the young man agrees. Back in the arena, the guy from earlier tells him to relax, revealing the prize 50 grand a match.
Plus, he can bet on the outcome. Knowing his foe is stronger, Fang wagers 1 million on himself.
Lou bets 5 million on him, a debt he'll repay if he loses. The blue-haired girl excitedly adds another million. The announcer ignites the crowd, declaring the fighters are about to enter the arena. He introduces Blackface, a peak level 1 martial artist, hailed as the king of this arena. When our hero is introduced as the Blade King, the audience erupts, expecting a total beatdown. The other girl rolls her eyes at his dumb nickname, but the teacher explains it's just a mind game against his opponent. It doesn't mean he only uses that weapon, but honestly, that detail flies over most people's heads. With a grin, our hero says it's his first time, asking the big guy to go easy. The man just smirks, saying he'll consider it, trying to keep things light. He jokes about avoiding a death match, but the second the match begins, he's the one who rushes forward. He unleashes a powerful kick. Blackface barely parries, admitting he lowered his guard for a moment. He realizes this kid isn't a typical level 1. The crowd roars for the big guy to get serious. The man tries to retaliate but eats a vicious hook instead. He stumbles, trying to block. After another hit, he cries uncle before collapsing. Our protagonist grins and thanks him. Everyone is stunned, except for Lou, who's thinking she really picked a dud.
Cut to the bonus rescue office, where a briefcase stuffed with $3 million is waiting.
Fang checks his system balance, smirking that it's not bad for a day's work.
Suddenly, a system alert flashes his assets hit 10 million, triggering a level up. This unlocks the bone reinforcement ability. Despite the risk, our hero decides to try it. Once it's complete, he wonders if he's now close to the peak of rank 3.
The real shocker, though, is seeing 100 grand just disappear from his account. This means reaching the peak of rank 1 is going to cost him another 10 million. In the car, the advisor glances at them in the mirror, saying he should pay her share instead of hogging the case. He insists he's not that guy, leaning in to suggest she let him hold her money so she won't blow it. She yells that's not happening, then shoots him a sly grin. The advisor asks why not just date and split the cash. Our dude says he's not focused on love right now.
Although he secretly thinks it's a solid plan, which only makes her more furious.
In the logistics department, Tang announces missions are now open. The news hypes the students, especially Ping, who sees a new way to earn cash. Just then, the fuming dean bursts in, shouting about the current situation. He yells, the dungeon dangers have increased, and everyone needs resources.
Winning the national championship is crucial to train even stronger martial artists. Calling the students idiots, Hang Jin tells them it's time to get serious.
Seeing their reaction, he reveals 5 teams will be formed, led by an instructor. The top team will snag 100 extra credits. Plus, the top 10 will represent the university in the next championship.
Fang, Jiao, and a few others are named captains. When the list drops, Sue is relieved to be on our protagonist's team. Meanwhile, he's thinking that besides 2 of them, the rest of his team is pretty weak. Ding pops up asking why he looks so bummed, saying if he could choose his team, he'd obviously pick all the pretty girls. Tang overhears this and swaps his teammates, causing him to freak out.
Shipping is assigned as the instructor for Ping's team during the missions.
So after the captain chooses a task, his only job is to get everyone back alive. After a moment of thought and sizing up his instructor, our protagonist starts browsing the missions.
Knowing other teams are chasing high-risk tasks, he figures the key is balancing time, difficulty, and reward.
Song sees the chosen mission and complains they're not weak enough for this. He adds that the split cash is barely anything. He argues they should pick a rank 2 mission. Our boy asks if he's ever even faced a rank 2 warrior. When the answer is no, he warns that this is no game. Their targets will fight to the death. Feeling confident, the kid says it won't be that hard since their instructor is there to back them up.
Done with the debate, Fang declares that as captain, he's making the calls. For the next month, everyone follows his lead. Any issues, speak up. Their target is linking.
He was last seen in the city's northern district. Since he loves to gamble, they'll search underground casinos.
Hui notes the area is full of casinos and asks what happens if they can't find him.
Our hero replies that if there's nothing in 3 days, they'll bail and only take 10% of the prize.
He then announces the mission starts in an hour. Tang jokes that he's terrified, while his friend feels like they're at rock bottom. We cut to a casino in the north. Ping, in disguise, tells his crew to split up and not engage the target alone.
Team A confirms they're at the main entrance.
Team B says they have the back door. Hearing security is alert, the captain tells them all to act normal. He thinks to himself that his entire group is made up of total rookies. We see the instructor is present, but only as an observer. Our hero knows the man won't intervene if things go south. Maybe the university wants a sacrifice. They're all about equivalent exchange now, where the weak must fall for a new generation to rise. Suddenly, Team D screams out that they've found the target.
Sprinting, our hero orders everyone to group up, telling them not to attack until he arrives.
Too bad Tang's dictionary is missing the word wait. By the time they arrive, the bandit is already on the floor. Beside him, Mr. Tiara scoffs that wasting time for such a tiny reward was pointless.
Ping reminds him of the order, but the hothead claims it was unnecessary, insisting the leader can't just waste everyone's time.
He yells that if it wasn't for our hero's plan, Tang would have never even found the target. But the others take Tang's side, forgetting their captain's goal was just to keep them safe. The big guy stands, adding, "He needs to remember we're martial artists, not helpless kids." Unfazed, the young man says to switch teams if he's unhappy, and that goes for all of them. The tiara guy drops it.
He knows he's no match for Fang. The main character realizes this easy mission made them arrogant, a huge red flag. Inside the dean's office, the instructors are discussing the captain's performance.
Amid the complaints, Shaping says, "Our boy is a solid leader, but far too cautious."
Hangjun asks Joe to watch him and stir up trouble on the next mission, wanting to see if he'll run.
Ask for help, sell out his team, or fight to the bitter end when things go south.
Back at mission control, the old man announces, "Tang gets 25% of the reward for the takedown, along with the spotters. This leaves the other 7 to split the remaining 50% between them." As complaints erupt, the big guy promises the next mission will be tougher with bigger rewards. When asked to confirm, Ping says nothing.
Taking his chance, the young man chooses a mission, take out a rank 1 pinnacle warrior.
Analyzing the request, our hero wonders why they'd need 3 pinnacle warriors if the target is just 1.
He also questions the instructor's silence, knowing the mission is incredibly risky. Taking command, he agrees to the mission, but he warns them this target is no joke.
Therefore, if victory looks impossible, they retreat. Staying alive is the first step to completing any mission.
Pang claims everyone knows that, convinced their numbers make losing completely impossible.
Glancing at the teacher, our hero hopes it's just his paranoia. Next, they're in a car, speeding toward Cleanstone Village up north. Once everyone arrives, Ping lays out the intel.
Shuang is likely hiding in one of the seaside towns. The blue-haired girl asks why the army didn't just arrest him.
Our hero simply says, "It's not that simple." The instructor appears, explaining. "The army wants to give you rookies field experience, and it's a wake-up call for new martial artists who think they're invincible. So basically, the point is to show that no matter how tough you are, if you make a mistake, the consequences will be severe." Understanding the brutal lesson, our hero suggests they begin their search at night, when there are fewer witnesses. Another student argues that searching by day is smarter, since the target is active at night. That means he's probably resting at the address they were given. All they have to do is team up and rush in.
Ping reflects that it was Ching who found the last bandit. The kid isn't strong, but he's calm and thinks clearly.
Snapping back to the present, he agrees to the new suggestion and starts the operation. At the target building, our hero has Zhou, Pong, and Zhang form a perimeter. Tang gets the fun job of knocking on the door. The guy is shaking. Our hero smirks, asking where his courage went and mentions the waiting reward.
A student nervously asks if it's okay to proceed without the instructor. Grinning, Fang says it's fine, thinking his hunch about the school's test is spot on.
The big guy starts the show. He knocks and yells for the bandit to come take out the trash.
Getting no response, he knocks harder, threatening to call the cops. A voice from inside says he never puts out trash.
Still banging, Tang retorts that the trash wasn't there before he moved in.
Sensing danger, our hero yells for his friend to dodge, just as something smashes through the door. That something was a fist packed with pure rage. Seeing he's outmatched, he bolts. As our hero yells to his team, "Get the pigeon!" Just kidding, he meant the target. Instantly, the big guy corners Seong, roaring there's no escape. But it's never simple. He deftly dodges the katana. Ping freezes, now face to face with the man. Using his sheer speed, the criminal pivots, avoiding a direct fight. Seeing him approach, Sue plants her staff firmly. The bandit finally halts his escape. He scoffs, feeling underestimated with no army or investigators. But a bunch of students means no real powerhouses, so no point wasting time with them. If reinforcements show up, this gets messy. The blue-haired girl prepares to strike, completely unaware of Xiang's other plans.
Worried, our protagonist yells for his ally to dodge, sensing danger. The young woman obeys, clearing the way.
Irritated, Tang says, "It seems Ping wants to fail this mission, since he messed things up." Our boy retorts that the target is on another level. If she hadn't dodged, she'd be toast. He then drops the bomb they're up against a rank 2. This man had his hand bones completely forged. The other students erupt. That's impossible. The mission listed him as rank 1. Determined, the big guy tells everyone not to retreat. Even as a rank 2, he's just a beginner. The man wonders why in the world he's still being chased. Meanwhile, our hero questions the faulty mission data. The target's goal is to reach his escape boat, but then from out of nowhere, an overwhelming aura freezes him in his tracks. He realizes the crew is using him for practice, and decides if he's going down, someone's coming with him. The group arrives and Fang gets it. The instructor is forcing the criminal's hand. This just proves university magic professors are absolutely cold-blooded. They've seen tons of life or death situations. And while they value their own lives, they don't mind watching others fall if it culls the weak. Glancing sideways, she says taking out one is easy. But taking out 2, now that's worth it. Our boy also makes a call if they win. He's challenging the instructor. A girl steps up, asking if he truly thinks the group can defeat a rank 2. With resolve, the young man says their only option is to fight. If no one makes a dumb move, victory is theirs.
So it's just him, Tang, and Sue moving into battle. The criminal figures these three are the strongest, with the middle one as the leader.
So, he decides to start with the girl. Screaming, the young woman tells him not to underestimate her, but her staff is easily blocked. Using her power, Fun snatches the weapon, blocking the attack from the tiara-wearing dude. She then leaps to dodge the protagonist's sweep. One boy says they should help the trio, but a girl insists all they can do is watch. Ching agrees, saying it's better to wait and see what the captain decides. The target quickly deals with the girl and the big guy.
Our boy seizes the chance for a sneak attack, but the man turns just in time as their feet collide.
Taking the worst end of the deal, the criminal realizes the young man has a powerful leg.
Tang takes his chance to attack, but gets blocked again and loses his katana. As a bonus, he takes a shot to the side that cracks his bones. Our protagonist grabs the flying weapon, and with fire in his eyes, leaves Shay with one less arm.
They lock eyes for a second, and Fang realizes his opponent chose to catch the sword with his hand instead of dodging. This means he has an insane amount of battle experience. At that moment, the rest of the group decides to jump in, hitting the target with blows from all sides. Our boy reflects that with one hand gone and an injured leg, the rank difference is meaningless and their victory is assured. On the ground, the criminal laughs, admitting he underestimated these students. He never thought he'd die at the hands of some kids. Even so, he grabs Tang, claiming he's been chosen to go with him. The big guy panics, shouting for help from the captain. A headbutt connects and strawberry juice flies everywhere. The other students just watch the scene in complete shock, not because the tiara-wearing boy was hit, but because our hero used his bare hands to finish Shay, who finally drops dead. The girl in the pink coat cries in relief at their victory, and the brown-eyed boy says they should check on everyone. Approaching, she says through tears that it was all her fault. If she hadn't lost her weapon, no one would have been injured.
Ping scoffs that apologies are off the table, since disarming him was a piece of cake.
A teammate agrees, admitting rank 2 warriors are on another level. Ching credits the captain for their success, but others groan that 10 credits are now gone for Tang's medical bills. The battle was over. Our hero says their next move is finding the instructor to learn why a peak rank 1 target suddenly evolved to rank 2. The old man appears, saying they performed worse than he expected, taking casualties despite having more people. He then claims the target wasn't actually that powerful to begin with. Tang's retorts, asking why their intel was so bad. The instructor just shrugs, saying targets can have unexpected breakthroughs. Unconvinced, our boy asks if the instructor used his killing intent to provoke the thug into attacking. The old man is stunned, surprised the kid is so perceptive. Backed into a corner, he finally admits his mistake. Getting to his feet, our protagonist states his job was to provide support, not to clean up a mess. He tells the old man to cut the act and asks if the intel was garbage from the start.
Dodging the question, the instructor asks what he plans to do. Our hero demands double the rewards, 60 credits per school rules.
From the ground, Tang says the school would never agree to such a demand. The old man agrees, noting that not even rank 3 missions pay that much. Our boy shrugs, saying he would never defy a rank 6 expert. But since the instructor cheated and broke the rules, he'll just have to report this little incident to the director. The instructor is secretly impressed with this leadership potential and agrees to the 60 credits, stressing this is a one-time thing. The team celebrates, but our protagonist remains serious. The instructor tells him that for his next battle, he can't afford to hesitate, because those who overthink are the first to die. Our hero knows he's right. He got too cautious about the rank 2 opponent. A leader's fear could doom the entire team. We cut to the main hall, where Ping is grinning as his net worth jumps to 11 million. Another crew stumbles in, and whispers fill the hall that one of them died and 3 were injured. An injured student panics, yelling their instructor abandoned them until it was too late.
Furious, another student grabs his leader, screaming that he should have died instead of their comrade.
Watching this unfold, Shui remarks that our protagonist was correct to get big rewards. You have to take big risks.
A girl on their team suggests they lay low for a couple of days and take easier missions. But the protagonist says they can't rest. They must seize this opportunity for rewards to prepare for rank 2 missions. To stop now is to surrender. He turns and asks who wants to surrender. Tang immediately shouts no, promising a full and speedy recovery. The blue-haired girl agrees, reminding them they are martial artists. The team's resolve hardens. Fear is not an option. A rival captain watches them with a troubled expression. Later, the team gathers. Ping explains they'll tackle easier missions to stockpile rewards for now. Over the next few days, the crew takes on various jobs, even one helping a cat cafe look after kittens.
On their last mission, the protagonist draws his sword, and his teammate realizes he's become far more ruthless.
Turns out, he has eliminated 4 criminals over the last 7 missions, completely altering his aura.
At the practice building, the team discovers they've climbed to 2nd place on the group leaderboard.
Tang declares that it's finally time to attempt a rank 2 mission.
Our hero reviews his own advancement, calculating that with a bit more training, he could solo a rank 2 enemy himself. With the whole team stronger, it's time to raise the stakes. He splits them into 3 squads, one for rank 2 missions,
Another to continue with rank 1 tasks.
and the last, for those still recovering, to gather intelligence. Z asks what the instructor will be doing.
Tang scoffs that since the man is totally useless, they should just let him do whatever he wants.
The elite trio heads for the Shijiang construction sites to hunt a 40-year-old cult apprentice, Tao Jin Chung. The blue-haired girl wonders if they're being too conspicuous. Suddenly, another group approaches them. The leader, Wang Huai from Dongwu University, steps forward, asking if they are from the Martial Arts University. When he learns the trio is from the Magic University, he extends his hand and properly introduces himself. He declares they're on an official mission. Turns out this is an all-star team of university students. Internally, our hero starts running the numbers. Everyone here is packing about 250 in blood and chi, and he's totally baffled why 2 squads are on this job. Just then, cars screech onto the scene. The party has officially begun. A guy with flashy pink hair steps out, asking, "So who's running the magic?"